All right, we're back. We're back. Oh boy. Let me get in here and make sure everything works the way it should. But this is our late. I have my AC going. I don't know. Can y'all even hear the AC? I feel like that if I leave it on, it's gonna turn up in videos and be weird. Okay. We had a good session though to open today. We played 4 different decks. They were all played very differently, which was fun. But we still have some on deck that people want to see, so we'll get into those pretty quick here. I'm going to go ahead and turn the AC off so it's not bothering anybody. I don't know if people can tell the difference, but it is getting cooler in the day. This is our nighttime session. It's 7:15 p.m., so I'm a little bit late, about 15 minutes from where I wanted to be, but I was taking care of some stuff. Yeah, condolences, by the way, to anybody, to my co-host, Brian, on Color Magic Podcasts. We will not be putting out an episode this week, partly because I was busy doing this, and we were going to record tomorrow, but Brian and his family have to travel. His mother-in-law has passed, so just want to put that anywhere for anybody who listens to the podcast, that bit of information is there for everybody. Yeah, that's why there's not going to be an episode this week. We will try to get one up next week. It should be our 300th episode, I believe, will go up. Otherwise, shows should still be normal the rest of the way. Anyway, that aside, let's talk about some Spider-Man stuff since everybody's coming back here. Here's what our plan is, I think, for the evening session. I think we're going to play a Mayhem deck and in web deck or web slinging deck. And then we're going to debate if we're going to play some version of the VV Shocker deck. So probably not going to play Spider Cookie because we just don't have enough new cards in that list to make it work. And if we can find 2 more cards, I think, from the new set to play in here in the mono green, I think we'd be willing to do that. But that's probably where we are for the evening session, unless somebody comes up with something crazy they want to play or build or something. We might look at some other list, but this is probably where we're going to be at for the moment. Yeah, that's a tough one for Brian, but they got to get on the road early tomorrow. I believe they're going to Louisiana for their family stuff. Hello, everybody. How's it going? Let's go ahead. I think we're going to hop into some Mayhem stuff since we haven't had a chance to play that yet. And we will see how this works. So let me hop in here so we can get the deck list looking right for you. And then we'll make that happen. Let's go to play. We have to go to events. Where'd it go? Oh, ended up back down here. There we go. All right, let's hop in there. Let's go find the deck we want to play, and it's going to be this one. Don't know, again, how good any of this is going to be. We're all playing stuff here for the first time. Be patient with our opponents. There's going to be a lot of mistakes and things. I mean, some people are irrational. Like, you should play perfectly. You should know what every card is. But, like, bro, we're just looking at them for the first day. Like, me and my opponents both. Like, have some sympathy. Be rational, really. You know what? Let me cut an Alesha. Let me play one more of these. I'm trying to figure out where I want to squeeze some numbers here. As cool as this is, I just don't think we need it as much as we'd rather have, like, either another... I think we'd rather just max out these, really. But this also flies. Damn, I'm going to cut a Mako. That feels gross, but I think it's still right. All right, something like this. This pile will be what we go with. I don't even know if it matters, truthfully. I feel like there is going to be a best version eventually, but I don't think any of us know what it is right out of the gates on day one. I do not think the VV Electro deck is going to ruin Standard anymore. I don't see how it's going to be significantly better than the current VV decks. It's just a different version doing something else. But we already have over-the-top red decks and Izzet decks that can do big things. So I don't think it's going to be any different, personally. I could be wrong, but I don't think it's going to be any different, truthfully. Which the Spider-Man cards won or Magic Arena? But you know what? Okay. One, people don't need to say that. I've seen like 6 or 7 people say one way or the other on people's streams. Like, we get it. We don't control that as creators. But it's a very amusing thing because for as long as people said, well, I don't want the universe beyond stuff in my Magic, and I'd rather have in-universe stuff. Right? Then we get it, and everybody says, but I wish I had Spider-Man cards. Look, like, I don't know, man. You know what? They're Magic cards. I don't really care one way or the other. Truthfully, it's all kind of the same for me. The floating mana doesn't make that much of a difference in a lot of cases. Like, when you're ready to go off, you can just VV for a bajillion anyway. So, like, in some cases it will matter, but there's a lot of times those VV decks would have beat you just the same anyway. But anyway, let me hop on this. Alright, what's up, Dragon Brood? Today, we're going to be discarding cards to play some really crazy stuff. It's the first time I'm playing with all these Mayhem cards. No clue how this is going to work out, but it looks like a lot of fun. And we played against it already, and it looks like it can do some pretty big stuff. But starting at the top, we're going to play some Marauding Mako. This is not anything with Mayhem, but it does benefit from Mayhem when you're discarding all the stuff, and it does discard itself as well. Skittering Kitten, it's a way we can draw cards and also discard things, so use it as a trigger, or an outlet, I should say, for all of our Mayhem things. Knife Trick. This is another way we can deal some damage on the cheap and discard a thing, which is nice. Also, speaking of, I guess you could tell you with Mayhem if you know what it is, but when you discard a card, you can then use its Mayhem cost to play it that turn, as opposed to paying its regular costs. And the Mayhem costs on a lot of things are super cheap. Bitter Trap, another way we can kill stuff and discard cards. A Braid, we don't get to discard with this, it's just a good, useful card. Inti, though, lets us discard, get a counter, get trample, and get to use those Mayhem abilities, so that's pretty sweet. We do have Quint's Insight here, which is the face or shadow of the goblin, I believe it is. So you get to discard a card, draw a card, and then when you play anything from anywhere other than your hand, you get to deal damage to the opponent, which, when we're playing a bunch of Mayhem stuff, hopefully ends up being some amount of damage. Kivney, Orb Weaver. This is a 2-mana 2/1 with Menace, and then when it enters the battlefield, we can discard. If we do, we put a counter. So it's basically a 2-mana 3/2 a lot of the time in this deck. But we also get to use the Mayhem off the other stuff, which is nice. We have the House Grows Hungry, so that way we can get rid of stuff with this, with the removal, but we also get to discard a card, which we like. Wekdu, Midnight Hunter. This is Flash and Mayhem for 1, which is huge. So really like that. It is just a 2/2 flyer, though, so not the biggest thing. We do have Alesha, who laughs at fate, who does not have any type of Mayhem, but does let us get a bunch of the stuff in this deck back out of the graveyard, which is nice. Ruzik, which is a 5/4 that lets you discard actually makes you discard every upkeep, but you do get a treasure for your troubles and has a Mayhem of 3. And then, of course, Desecrates, who is also Carnage, is 4/3 with Trample. And when it enters, you can return a creature from your graveyard with mana value 3 or less. However, when it damages the opponent, you have to sacrifice it and has to attack every turn. However, this has a Mayhem of just 2, which is kind of crazy. So yeah, we're also randomly playing a couple of copies of Restless Verge because, well, we get to discard when we attack, and that seems kind of useful. I don't know if it will be, but I figured it was worth including. But anyway, y'all know the drill. At the end of the video, if you've been looking for a list to play, there'll be a link that takes you over to Moxfield, our channel sponsor, where you should be hosting your decks if you're not. But if you want to save money on our stuff, don't forget to check out Tales of Adventure. It's TOAMagic.com. You can use my code DRAGON. It's DRAGN. And you can save 5% on everything you get over there, which is good because a lot of new Magic cards are kind of pricey. Save yourself some money. But okay, let's go hop in and see how much mayhem this deck can cause. Jeff says, first time live stream, funny seeing the starts of future YouTube videos. Hey, yeah, you're just here while it's being done. That's the only difference. Choose our deck. We will go back and grab the Mayhem deck. Sweet, sweet. And then get started. I will say for most of our streams, we don't do that. We mostly do it for the early access stuff or things where I know I'm going to turn into videos. A lot of times we're just doing fun stuff. Like most recent streams have been us just goofing around with like viewer ideas that we have on the wheel, then we spin the wheel and make their decks, stuff like that. Desert Crix looks like Yargle. Maybe they're cousins. Okay, we get to go first. We'll keep it. This enters tapped, or we can just play it for Mayhem, which might come up at some point in the future, but not right now. And let's go attacking. I think I'm going to play this on 2, and then I can just discard this and just play that for my land for the turn. No! You're going to seam rip me. It's alright. You get it. Well, alright. We're going to stick with the plan. Let's see what happens. That's the second time we've seen one of those today. We'll discard this since we don't really have any more land. Anyway. Okay. I don't have any discard enablers that matter right now, which is sad. We'll go ahead and play this. Deal a point to the opponent. This is wild. Do we want to just go in on double Quint's Insight? That seems insane, right? That can't be normal. You know what? I'm going to gamble. Let's just do it. Let's just see what this looks like. This is probably great. This is probably a bad idea. It has to be a bad idea, right? Here's Ketramos. Well, we can't do much about that. All right. We're discarding, I guess, this guy since we can play it. And this guy since we can play it. All right. And an Abrade, which doesn't kill this because it's indestructible. So let's do this. Get to deal the opponent 2. Let's play this. Put it on black. Pay the 2 life. Cast this. Deal 2. Alright, well, we're kind of doing the thing with Shadows of the Goblin / Quint's Insight. Not what I was expecting, but we'll take it. Chosen by a Balgabas. So now all the damage just happens to them, right? Yep, alright. Well, we pretty much can't win now. Like, this deck has no way to kill the opponent. Sure. At least I'm pretty certain we don't have a way to kill the opponent. Let's discard this because it doesn't really do anything. Discard this because we can pay it for 1. I mean, I'll go through the motions, but we're kind of just wasting time here. Doesn't really matter what we discard. Let's play the Alesha, I guess. Yep. I mean, that's all we're doing. Nothing's really happening. I'll just let them play 1 or 2 more cards, then we'll scoop. I mean, this is one of those situations that, like, this is what Rakdos is supposed to lose to, because you're not going to have a way to deal with their stuff most of the time. We're not playing any type of enchantment removal or whatever in here. Sure. I mean, actually, okay, there is a weird way we could actually win here. If we can deal enough damage to them that they ultimately can't get any value from Ketramos, then maybe. But that's a hard maybe. And with them taking one of our Quint's Insights, it's going to be even tougher. I'll just pay the 3 life, actually. I don't know if I need to have another card to discard or not, but we kind of want this back. And then I guess we just attack for sport. I mean, we know it doesn't do anything, but I'm going to hold on to this just in case I want to discard something else. All right. With double Quint's Insight, we have a chance. Because this isn't an optional ability. This is just when you exile something, you lose life. So I don't know how we're going to get them there, but we're going to try our best. Well, now they're gaining life, so that doesn't help us at all, actually. That's the opposite of going where we want to go. All right, discard, draw. Discard, draw. That's not any good. Dang it. All right, well, nothing doing there. I mean, I guess I could just get back a card, just make them have to deal with it, but nothing else really going on here. What's crazy is I might even need a third Quint's Insight, which is wild to say. We'll just keep this one. All right. I think that's kind of the only way we could possibly win here, because I'm not playing anything in this list that, like, makes them sacrifice. That's artifacts and creatures? Yeah, sure, that's fine. Still just 4 because the treasures just go away. Alright, that's 5. Come on, deck. We just need some things. Come on, that we can play off of this. Alright, discard, make a treasure. That's not going to do anything. Oh, that was the third one. Dang it. Alright. Alright, I'm just going to give it to him. Now that we lost the third one, I don't think we can get there. Even if we wanted to. No, this deck doesn't play that. Like, honestly, how am I going to word this? I'm going to say this nicely so I'm not disparaging other creators or whatever, because that's not my goal. But we have now played that same person, and they're just playing decks that have, like, one card to do a quirky thing in their deck, and it's a bunch of old cards. Like, I'll at least say that. That's the polite way of putting it. We will keep this. We ran into that earlier, so it's whatever. I mean, people are welcome to play whatever they want to play. It is fine. I am going to play this tap so I can take advantage of playing these. Oh, somebody's actually playing that dude. That's crazy. That's the Jackal. I didn't think anybody was actually going to play that. That's cool. Discard this. And then play it for 1. Oh, wait. No, it's legendary. Gosh, dang it. Totally forgot. All right. That's my mistake. There's a lot of legends running around. Should have just killed their dude. That would have been a lot smarter. I mean, I appreciate what they're doing with the X-Spells and letting you copy some things. It's kind of cool. Alright, that's also reasonable. And then pass. Surveil 3. Wow. I mean, feel free to attack. I'm very likely not blocking your 2 power things. Nope, they didn't want to put me to the test. Alright. So... If we play this... I guess we just... Well, what do we even have in the yard? Nothing to really get back right now. So let's just discard this. And I'm wondering if our plan is just kill a Llanowar Elf here. Like, it's not crazy exciting, but it feels like it still might just be the correct thing to do. So... I mean, you could copy one of these, but I don't know if you care that much. Man, this is a sorcery. I'm gonna gamble, though. I think it's worth it. Let's discard a card. Let's try to kill this. And I think I'm willing to attack with this. Because they double block, one dies. I don't know if they're reanimating or bouncing stuff, but yeah, let's keep it like that. But this way we can do it. We can get one of these back. Like, look, another jackal. Who knew? And then you get copies of jackals. Nope, they just copied themselves. Fair enough. Oh, copied a Llanowar Elf. Yeah, fair. That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. So we get to do this for 2. This needs black mana, right? Okay. Well, it doesn't matter. We have the treasure. What am I even worried about? Let's go and get one of these back. I will discard this. Then we'll play it. If I attack for 4, what are we even blocking with? Like one of the 2/2s and a bunch of 1/1s? I guess that's fine. like it's whatever, I guess. Nope, they're just blocking. I mean, to be fair, if they get a creature here, they get a chance to draw a lot of cards. And what's the thing? When it deals damage, that player draws a card this turn. Yep. That's about the one way you make this deck work, this dude work. So I'm into it. I think this is smart. Thanks for subscribing there. Wow, so sick. Opponent is drawing really well here. No, we needed anything relevant there. Ugh, that's so bad. I don't even think we can win from here, but they've got 3, 4, that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1 flyer right now. You know what? Yeah, let's just do it. I mean, all we can do is apply pressure. We got nothing else going on right now. We need the opponent to like brick and draw a land or something. I mean, I don't know what we're really hoping for, but that's probably what we need. Or anything that pumps your team kills us here too. Like there are a bunch of relevant ways we die. All right, makes sense. Sounds good. Oh, Hannah Goldvein Hydra? All right, GG's. You got it, fam. That's probably, if we're being real, that's probably the best way to play the Jackal. Would just play all the X cost creatures so you have something at every cost. And most of those creatures are relevant, like decent, even if you don't have the Jackal, which is important. Do. Also, welcome everybody who's just joining us. Looks like the numbers have crept up a little bit when I wasn't paying attention. That happens to us sometimes during the streamer events because I'm on the West Coast, so I'm up a little later than some other people when they have to call it quits. Do. Man, no early creatures here, so this is not fun, but we're going to keep it. All right. I think I might just go. If I can find another discard spell for 1 or 2, I mean, Mayhem spell, I might just play this on 2. Though, I mean, I guess if we find, like, the knife or whatever, we'll just shoot that and then play this. None of that's going to be relevant here. Then what do we do? I'm going Inti. Here would not be terrible. Alright, let's try it. It's a different type of discard outlet that still works for us. Oh my gosh, really, dude? We're just gonna go get Kona here? Alright, sure. What are people doing in these early access events? Like, you're not even, like, come on, man. Let's try to play some fun cards. I guess I'm gonna attack, play this. And then I'll just play mana up so we can Bitter Triumph. Well, sucks to lose Alesha, but we have another one. I will discard... Probably this. I'm not too attached to that. Oh, you are really cool, but can't play you. So we're just going to pass. Because now we have to kill Kona, obviously. And this isn't turned on yet, right? Cool. We'll just pay the 3 life. Kind of have to, or we can't really do much there. Okay. You... Okay, that's probably fine. We don't have anything to get back with Alesha here anyway, so I guess that's reasonable. Let's go ahead and discard this. Put the counter on you. Ooh. Nah, still wouldn't be able to play it, though. Alright, let's go here. Here. And just play that, I guess. Also could have held that so I could play Alesha, but again, there's really nothing in our graveyard, so, you know, what are we going to do? Alright, there's another Kona. And this time it works. And then we're going to play like Overlord or something. Your maximum... What is this guy? So then you just draw up? Well, that feels weird. Wow. Okay. Sure. And then we just kill their dude and attack? Weird way to beat a Kona deck, but you know, I guess we'll take it. Alright. Thank you for watching the content. I appreciate it. My cats love it. That's how we pay for the cats to eat. No, this is a weird one because usually when you see Kona, you're seeing like a big thing happens, right? Like whether it's Omniscience or you're playing the White Overlords, like something crazy. So I was really expecting something bigger there. This is neat because it lets you reload your hand, which is kind of awesome. But yeah, didn't turn out the way I thought. Nobody knows what the best deck is. I think if you're worried about the best deck on day one, you're observing this content the wrong way. I think what you should be observing today is card interactions, what people are having fun with, how stuff interacts with old cards, and then that's about as far as that should go. Because literally, people are not playing fleshed out best decks. They're not playing the best, you know, graveyard answers, a bunch of counter spells, whatever stuff you're going to run into normally on the ladder. Like, that's not what today is for. Today is not about finding the best deck. Today is about, hey, let's celebrate the set like we always do and show off new cards and do fun things with new stuff. That's what's happening. So even if I told you what I thought was the best deck, I guarantee you my answer would probably be different in, hell, probably not even in 12 hours. While I'm editing, I would probably change my mind. And the truth is, on day one, most of us don't know enough about the majority of these cards to really make a confident decision to say we know what's good, bad, whatever, you know? We're going to keep this, though. And I'm just going to go Restless Vents here. And we'll see what's up. Let's play you tapped. Get in there, kiddies. Go do your jobs. End the turn. Oh, well, we can't let that live. That's just a straight up tutor. That's we know that's bad for us. Question is, do we need an Abrade later? I'm going to gamble and hope the answer is no. Actually, I'll just attack first and see if they're interested in blocking. I don't think they are. If they do, though, I'm not going to be mad about it. Yeah, I didn't think they wanted to, but, you know, sometimes you got to give them the opportunity. Alright, end the turn. Oh, they didn't have anything else there. Whoa, that's crazy. Alright, well, go attacking. I don't have anything in the yard. We're just going to straight up just play a 4-3. No bonus value, just a 4-3 trampler. Oh, that's cool. So let's go ahead. Oh, wait, that doesn't work if we do that. We have to play this first. So that we can do this. And then attack these. And discard this. Sweet. This basically takes away the downside on Restless Vents. If it's not a board sweeper... Actually, not necessarily. Yeah, if they kill Desecrex, they're still in this. Because we're only attacking for 5. Alright, that works. Yeah, still in it. Oh, we got a hasty cat, though. Does that change anything? 2, 4, 5, 6? Probably not. But I can't... Oh, yeah, I can play that. Never mind. Alright, go attacking. Discard this. Ooh. You know what an interesting thing? When I see Ruzik, I think of Rurik Thar, like the old legend from a while ago. I'm just going to decline. It could just be a 2-1. It doesn't need to be bigger than that right now. Well, you have to discard for sure. I'm just going to take 3. Mostly because if they just go like land Day of Judgment here, we still have real actions to try to win. Nope. It's not really going to get it done here. All right. We'll just go ahead and get in there. Discarding this guy, I suppose. Wow. Restless Vents was pretty good here, though. Arachnomania, but only for spiders. Man's got cats. Gotta get them on the stream like Dev does. We've had the cats on stream before. 2 of them, actually. The reason you don't see them most of the time on streams is because literally almost nobody comes into my room / studio where I work. I have one friend who comes over and she helps me sort cards for stuff that I sell. And like my woman comes in here if she's got to tell me something. Like once every few weeks or so, I let the cats in to roam around, whatever. But this day is pretty much free of other people that aren't me, other beings that aren't me for the most part. But I have had my cats on, even when we've done commentary and stuff. I've had them on commentary stuff so people can see them, and you know. Mayhem's such a fun looking mechanic. I'm hoping to run a Rakdos or maybe even a Jund deck around it. Does green get any Mayhem stuff? Like, what are we playing in green? I can understand if you play blue, because blue at least lets you play the Norman Osborn where you can connive so you can discard. And of course the land actually already has blue in it. So that would make sense. I don't know if playing green really does anything. At least off the top of my head, I can't think of anything that green's bringing to the table for that deck. But who knows? I could be totally wrong. Honestly, there might be something really sweet, and I haven't thought of it yet. Because truth be told, again, we're not going to come up with everything on day one. Well, I bet most of us put our deck list together in the last 48 hours, and then this is the first time we're playing with them, so I can't imagine what the final versions of all these decks are going to look like. I also think there's probably some weird Naya Legends deck that is able to swap out 3 or 4 of the cards for some number of the spiders and turn that into a thing. Or who knows? We probably haven't even figured out the best thing to do with web slinging yet. There's probably some card that we get to replay or reset and give us options that are probably super sweet in one of those builds. There's going to be a lot of stuff that people are going to have to explore in a lot of ways, really, to figure this set out. And largely because, and we saw this, we've been seeing this actually, and credit to R&D, we're getting a lot of cards lately that just don't do, or they do things other cards just haven't done, or they're worded ways other cards have never been worded. And because of that, it makes it harder to just know right off the bat what's good, what's bad, what the metagame's going to be, whatever. I almost always tell people, be cautious of anyone who tells you with definitives that this is the best thing, this is what the meta is going to be, these are the best cards right out of the gate, because most of the time they don't know what they're talking about. We go first. Sure, we will keep this. I'm just going to play that and pass. What are we doing here, actually? This is weird, because I don't want to just, like, not do anything. But this feels bad not getting value out of this. Because, like, I could discard this, I guess, because I don't really need it. Yeah, it's fine. I can't play it because I've already played a land. But it at least does a thing, and hopefully we don't get punished for it for later. Yeah, it's a seam rip. That makes sense. Alright, well, if we saw a seam rip, I'm going to assume that this is not going to live, because this looks like a very removal-heavy pile of things, but I could be wrong. Oh, it's the Ketramos thing again. Alright, sure. Alright, I mean, I guess. Do. Let's... I don't even know if I need to hold on to that treasure, but let's just put this on red, I guess. Pay the 2 life. Oh, crap. What am I doing? Forgot. These are all legendary. I see them as just like creatures, but yes, these are legendary. That makes total sense. Alright, put your enchantment on your Ketramos so we can move on. Nope, guess they didn't have it. Alright. Oh no. We gotta find some value in here somewhere. This is the downside of playing a lot of legendary creatures, though. Is you do have the situations where we don't get to add stuff to the board, you know? That's real. They get to gain 4 here if we do that. This sounds dumb, but I'm pretty sure we don't have anything to target in their deck. So I'm just going to try to keep them off the life gain if possible there. Seam Rip to eat a treasure? Sounds good. Alright, let's go attacking. Discard this. Alright. Go ahead and play this. I mean, we're having to dance around a lot of things. They have a bunch of stuff that could just nearly end the game here. Alright. Let's go ahead and play this. It's also weird they go back to your hand, but we have them again. What's funny is that actually is a big deal because that would have given us a actual trigger for these, which is amusing that we can't do that now. Boy, this lets me discard during my upkeep. I mean, we could do this just to do it. Blah. What's the best thing to do here? Probably this, if we're being real. And would I want to even waste this? Probably not. Alright. Alright, cool. We can move along. Like, the problem with those type of decks is, like, we can't really use it for content. I'll probably use one of them, because, like, they're not fun to watch, unfortunately. And what's funny is, that deck folds to several other decks that we played, but it's going to crush this deck, because we're not playing the anti-enchantment stuff. Or the exile stuff. Like, you could be playing Strategic Betrayal, where they have to sacrifice a thing, or whatever. Which ultimately you probably should be playing if that deck's going to kind of become a thing on the ladder. Leyliner Transformation has a few niche uses. Nope. I'm not even going down that road. I do not think Leyliner Transformation is worth spending your time on. We've been down that road. I've probably tested 10 or 12 different decks at this point with it, and I just would not recommend it at this point. I think it's a bad idea. I am a non-believer, if you will. Discard a card. Target this. Discard one of these. And we'll play it. And I will discard... Sadly, probably this. Yeah, I've tested a ton of things with Leyliner Transformation. It never... Like, the problem with Leyline, in most cases, is you end up playing bad cards to justify the Leyline. So then you're just in bad shape overall at the end of everything. Thanks for the new subscriber, by the way. I guess this could be on black. Pay the 2 life. And attack. I mean, here comes Kona, right? Because I feel like that's what we're setting up for the whole time. Is Kona to do something big? Artists, it's fine. I know it's a thing. People hop into streams and everybody says, how are you doing? How's your day? What's your favorite deck? What's like, that's just what happens every single stream you're on. And we end up answering the same question about 52 times. But overall, it's fine. The cards are fun. They do what they're supposed to do. Alright, we'll play this. Discarding... Oh, what am I doing that for? I keep forgetting these are legendaries. Duh. Let's go ahead and just do this, though. We'll play this straight up. We'll just play the cat. I think the problem for me, and this is like the third time I've messed this up in the early access thing, is a lot of the cards, because of the style of art, I don't look at them as being legendaries for some reason, even though they have the legendary card frame and stuff. So I got to get used to that. All right, here we come. Yep, draw a card. Oh, do they want to get rid of our enchantment? All right, we'll take our turn. Ooh, you're kind of special. What is worth doing here? Like, should we be attacking? I mean, they're just gonna... Yeah, it'd just be a bad trade situation. I kind of want to just sack this, discard this, put a counter on Mako, play Ruzik, and then just figure out what that looks like afterwards. But the reality is we could also just play Inti here, put counter... Yeah, I'm going to play Inti. I think it's better. And then we just don't do anything else this turn. No, you got rid of my sack outlet. However, though, that's a chance for us to put counters on something, so I'm not super mad at it. All right. Relic of Legends. There are definitely a lot of legends to work with that right now. That's tough. That's going to be a lot of creatures incoming. What do they need this much mana for? I think we're going to get wrecked by some card I'm not even thinking about. Which, if we do, so be it. They earned it. Alright, they're leaving enough things up to block with. Ooh, really? Definitely wasn't thinking about you. What if we counter here, maybe? Ah, Braid. Ooh, I don't know if we need a Braid or not. That's a good question. I mean... Oh, no! Clicked the wrong thing. Oh, crap. Alright, well, we're committed now. Sure. I mean, yeah, whatever. Let's just get in there with all of it. Whatever. Alright. I was thinking through some, didn't mean to go into the attack step, but this will work out fine. Alright, so we're going to play this. And then get Inti, I think, as part of this exchange. Alright. They have access to a lot of mana right now if they want it. I just don't know what they're setting up for. Because they could complete the station. And then have... God, I don't know, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, well, you're there. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana? Because you have to pay 1 green to start it? Oh no, they're just stationing other things. Okay. Return that guy. That'll get you some 1/1s. Alright, that makes sense. Yeah. And then let's let you return something. I feel you. I mean, I guess you just return the get loss. Nope, they're just making more bodies. I mean, that makes sense. You gotta do something here. Hey, what was that? Hey, a little bit of raid coming in. Thank you so much. All right, so there's 5 1/1s that are able to block right now. We can give stuff trample. We have a haste kitty. Huh. I kind of want to play Ruzik this turn. What do you... but you still just Mayhem for 3. That's not greatly helpful. Alright, I think we still do it. Discard it. Maybe draw an untap red source? That would be cool. Guess we'll do this. That did not work out the way we wanted to. Alright, cool. Ugh. I was just waiting. I was like, I'll leave the math up to them. I don't know what that last card is. But, because they also could tap this for mana. But here, they would have had to at least double block this. That only leaves 3 things. But then both of these trample. So if you block this, then you split the others, and they're still going to take at least 6. And then they didn't know it, but we also had a way to remove a blocker. So, yeah. I didn't know where they were headed, but man, there was a point where they had a pile of mana. I was kind of waiting to see what the secret sauce was going to be there. Hey, Chakaw, how's it going? Yeah, they didn't seem to have a lot of legends. I feel like they just didn't draw what they were looking for, realistically. But yeah, Relic of Legends is from a while back, so I mean, whatever. People play things. Hey, Jim Davis coming through with 256 folks. How's it going, brother? I was just watching something of yours when I took my break earlier. Watching one of your Spider-Man or Spider Sacks. Ugh. Yeah, I played a lot earlier. I got like 4 decks in, I think, and then I took a break, and then we're on deck 5, I believe, for me. Don't say Spider-Man. I've been saying both. I've actually been flipping both ways. I've been saying Spider-Man and then Omenpath stuff over and over. It's kind of funny. But yeah, so far, it's been pretty sweet. I don't have anything to complain about. Cards are cool. Decks are doing what they're supposed to do. The only gripe I have is some people playing decks where it's just like a bunch of old cards and like one set of a new card just to try to reanimate the thing or whatever. Or the one person playing the whatever it is, like you play the card on Ketramos so you can just not take any damage or whatever. It's just like, that's cool, but we're also not playing all the cards that would get rid of that in a lot of these early access decks, so it's kind of whatever. Oh, we get to play Kuro again. Yeah, we'll keep this. Let's go here. This is weird. I might actually just discard Restless Vents here. There's a cat. Oh, actually, the cat's not bad here. This is kind of an interesting interaction. Because I could do this attack. Assuming they block the Marauder, we could then sack the cat. And then get to just play Orb Weaver. That's a little weird. A little convoluted, but I'm in. Oh, then I guess we don't need to do either of those things. We can save the trick for later. Actually, it kind of works out better because then we could just discard one to the other. Though, had I played it, I would be able to punch passive Voice of Victory, right? Well, never mind. We can get passive Voice of Victory anyway. Sometimes the deck just makes the decisions for you. Alright. And the turn. Don't get sued by Disney, that's bad. Yeah, we're not going to get sued by saying Spider-Man. Glad to get to see more of the planes from recent sets and the flavor pools from those. Quint's Insight being a good example of that. I literally know nothing of what planes any of those things come from. And that probably makes me a bad, I don't know, shepherd of the game or whatever, but... I actually, to be real with you, I don't think I could tell you, hey, we got somebody else who followed. Like, I genuinely don't think I could tell you the lore of any game I play. And I don't even think that's an exaggeration. I kind of want to do this pre-combat so I could just attack for 3. Because I don't have a way. Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to do this, actually. And then... Yeah, this is fine, I guess. See if we find an untapped land or something here. Okay, that'll work. Are you interested in blocking my cat? I assume you might be. Oh, they're not. I love that for us. Let's go ahead and play this. Discard this. Man, we are just cooking right now. Play this. Oh, wait. Nope. That's legendary. We ran into that already. I'm doing it again. Like, having to remember, this looks like a random Rakdos guy at, like, the Rakdos Circus. I don't know why I keep forgetting that this is... Ugh. But I, for real, just keep forgetting that this is legendary for some reason. And it's so dumb. Like, I know it is. But for some reason, I just keep doing that. Alright, what do we got going on here? Yeah, that works. That's a big 3/3 body. What about Madden? You know that lore? I mean, not really. I mean, if you're talking about just knowing teams or players, but as far as like John Madden, other than what's like popular, I might know a few things, but that's also not a game that I play. That's a sport that I followed since I was like 6. Like, so I don't think those correlate the same way. Discard that. Counter here. Oh, that's cute. Unfortunately, that doesn't do what we want to here. Alright. How hard has it been to remember the OM cards versus Spider-Man cards? Generally not that bad, but it's also not important. I mean, you can just read what the cards do, and then they just do their thing. So, you don't really have to know that this is the name of the Spider-Man card. Or if you're playing in paper, you don't need to know the Omenpath cards. That's why I'm kind of surprised at people that seem hung up on that. Like, it's not really a thing. Alright, and you choose a card type that... Artifact, sure. I'm not even sure I'm playing artifacts in this. I think all I have is just the enchantment and the creatures. Okay, so this is what they were using that for, to try to stack up a bunch of 1/1s with the cheap and web costs. So I get it now. Alright, that's pretty cool. Opponent saying GG? Oh, I see. Because you're just going to get to keep making dudes and just, like, combo and blah, 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 blah. Alright, fair enough. Kind of a cool thing that you can do. And I don't think I have a way to get through enough. Because we'll assume they do this till they have, like, 20 blockers or something. And that's probably more than enough. Yeah, they're just naming all the different creature type or card types. Yeah, it's effectively infinite. I mean, they can just stop when they get to the right number. And it makes sense. It's kind of the same reason you play Voice of Victory in the Kona decks, just so you have the thing that stops the opponent from breaking up your combo. They have to do it up on their turn. So that makes sense. Alright. We get enough time to establish the combo. I'm not going to wait till they time out or anything. I understand Relic's not standard legal, y'all. We know this. We know this. We've established this already. Like, it's okay. Should he be playing it? No, it's totally fine. But it's a thing you got to see do the thing. I am okay with it. We will all be fine. Though I need to try to get a gauge on how many people are still playing real quick. To kind of know where we're at as far as a streamer event. Do. All right, let's hop back in here with you folks. This is like something we're gonna keep. For better or worse. Just trying to... What toughest part about Mayhem is trying to figure out what your turns are gonna look like. I think. That's the biggest issue for me right now. I think we're just gonna do this and attack. But I was just debating, like, do I want to just Orb Weaver and then discard a land that I can't play? Or do I want to hold on to a land because we can play the House Hungers or whatever the next turn? Now we could discard a different card, and that's something. But I think I'm just going to do this. And just go no discard, actually. No discard's terrible. I can't do that. I can't do that. We got to do something here. Can I still play a land here or something? Oh, no, because I could discard or sacrifice the dude. That's the only reason it's pausing. But I'm going to leave up the option to use the House Hungers here. All right, that's fine. Yeah, if that happens, that's okay. Yep, we knew what you were coming for. Let's play this. Attack. Play this guy. All right. Now we got to start finding the business cards. Making a spider. I can appreciate that. You know what I'm going to do? This is dumb, but I'm going to get rid of their spider because they don't have anything else to put counters on if we get rid of it. And we're just going to attack for 3. It's like not the best play, but you know, it's a thing. Housewarm, and this is trying to create a 2/1 green spider life for each. Spiders you control get +1/+1 and can't be blocked by creatures with defender. Okay. Those are words. Yeah, sure. Do I need another cat? I guess we just play this. Discard this other cat, huh? Go attacking. Uh-oh, they didn't block. When your opponent doesn't block with a 3/2 when you got this board, something's coming. We might be about to get wrecked. Because this feels not good. Okay, that's not so bad if that's all that's happening. There's got to be more to it. Okay, there you go. There's a shelter. That makes sense. I was like, something else is about to happen here. Yep, so they gain 8. All right, well done. Ooh, that's something. I guess we play this. And pass. Oh, another Spinner Assault. We played that earlier, too. That card's so good right now. And just getting to search for another thing is so gross. Yeah, we're just gonna take it. Go to 6. No, that's not what we wanted to see. That's like the opposite of what we wanted. Ah, man. All right. Well, we can at least attack for 2 kinda safely. Discard this. Alright. And this says we have to discard a card and then sacrifice this. Let's go ahead and play this tapped. Because we're going to lose it to Ruzik anyway during our upkeep. Demera to get some cards. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, I guess. Because, I mean, we can't let them through, obviously. No, they found a guy to play that's super cheap, too. Alright. That's probably going to be the beginning of the end. Opponent just outdrew us this time. GG's. I can't see... Yeah, we're not getting out of it with that. That's for sure. Alright. They got us. It's not a non-standard format. Y'all are getting hung up on it. I'm good with it. I understand what's happening. It's fine. We can just move on. Like, enjoy the show, people. Enjoy the show. It's okay. I promise. It's not the first or the last time something like that's going to happen with the new setup in the format. It happened last time. It'll happen in the future. There are various reasons as to why that happens. It is okay. We just correct them, we send them a message, and then we move on. We will keep this. Oh no, they're just coming out of the gate with something here? Oh, Paw Patcher Group. Yeah. That card is a good Magic card. Alright. You're not going to trade me. To be honest, I probably shouldn't even attack there. I should just threaten to block. Yep. Oh. Really? That's not where I thought this was going. That's crazy. Alright. Well, that's a thing we know now. Yeah, I mean, I guess we do this. And discard this. And I guess just pass. Hey, what's up, Man? Thank you for the 7-person raid. Obviously, we're doing the streamer event stuff today. But for those you don't know, I am Power Dragon over on YouTube. Literally, actually, we're coming up on almost 6 years of daily videos on YouTube. So y'all should come follow. There's a lot of good content. And we're doing giveaways and stuff now. So that's a thing. So lots of stuff happening on the channel. So you got to leave comments. And we're also doing a thing each season where you can have your idea for a deck added to a wheel, and I will be forced to make it at some point. So that's a thing for channel members as well. All right, here comes a Terra. I don't know. They're obviously doing something with Delirium, but I'm kind of surprised this is included. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm missing here. I feel like there's a key piece to this plan that I don't understand. And it's a little bit concerning, if I'm being honest. But, I mean, I guess I attack with the Orb Weaver? Because, like, what else are we going to do? Thanks for the follows, though, folks. Man, our hand's real bad. We just drew a bunch of lands. So, as much as I don't want to, I think... Oh, am I supposed to kill Paw Patch here? Just to not deal... No, no, let's kill this. Hey, thanks so much. Yep, this is kind of the best we can do. What is your delirium set at? Creature, land, sorcery. Alright, we're at 3. Still a sorcery. Oh. Okay, they just had trouble drawing. I was like, do they actually play these other colors? I was trying to figure out what's going on, but there you go. Alright, we're down to 11. Why does this guy double strike? Alright, that's a thing I guess we can do. I guess I'll get rid of this. Oh boy. I don't know if we have any real outs here, y'all. I think we're in real trouble. Like, I can kill this guy. Yeah, put the counters wherever you feel they belong, opponent. I can attack here. But I'm just like, is it even any good? Like, that's the thing I'm looking at right now. Like, I can do a thing. I think we're just dead anyway. Opponent can play this if they have any reasonable creature, I guess. Well, not quite. We're going to remove their graveyard, so we're not super concerned about Delirium. We'll be down to 5 here. I mean, to be fair, we haven't drawn any real creatures this game. We've only drawn 2. So it's kind of whatever. I mean, we did what we could. The event kind of snuck up on people today. So don't feel too bad. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm just going to 5. I feel like I might actually have to use this to discard and draw. Alright. Let's exile your graveyard, because that's important. Gets rid of a lot of things here. And I have no creatures in my yard. This is so sad. Oh, you know what? Well, if I was willing to go to 2, there was a strategy where I could have attacked, played Alesha, or sacrificed this, draw a card, play Alesha, get that back, which would have been alright, actually. I guess I'm just going to get this in because I can. But unless their hand's just like land or something, I don't see how we're getting out of this. Fortunately, Alesha does first strike. Oh, well, never mind. All right, GG's. I was about to say Alesha first strikes, but doesn't matter now. All right, we're going to play... I think we have enough of this one, actually. Let's go ahead and hop into another deck. We'll, actually, let me get into this long enough that we can do the wrap-up, and then we'll play something else. All right. Yeah, so a few things on this deck. I think, in general, it's mostly solid. I don't think you need to be playing the Elusive Nightclub unless you're playing blue, which I do think there's a version of this with Grixis that can do some stuff with the Norman Osborn and a few other things. We did see a version also playing blue, since if you're already playing Norman Osborn and you're playing stuff that wants to discard, you can play Abhorrent Oculus and that type of stuff, and that works. So I think that's real. Otherwise, like, I feel like you can just tighten this up a bit. I mean, Quint's Insight is kind of cool, but we really didn't get to maximize it as much as I wanted to, so that feels a little bit bad. And I don't even know how badly we need Marauding Mako, right? I think it could just be max out the Skittering Kitten, and that's what we roll with. Maybe we max out the Insight, and then we just turn the remaining slots into something else, right? Some other thing. Maybe it's another, the house grows hungry, so you can just get rid of graveyards or something. What we did see, obviously, is, you know, Strategic Betrayal is still a good card against some matchups. You don't have anything really to do with artifacts, or we do have a couple of things to do with artifacts, not many, and nothing to do with enchantments. So you may want to figure that into your cleaning up of this deck if you decide to play it. And what we realized too is Alesha is cute, but the thing is, we don't often have that much stuff in our graveyards, right? Because of Mayhem, we're actually just getting this stuff right back into play. So while it does seem neat, maybe that's not what we need to be doing, right? Maybe we just need to max out the Desecrix, maybe max out the Wetdu so we can have more flyers, or just play other reasonable creatures, right? We could still play the 4-mana dragon that like destroys a multi-land. You can play actually a whole variety of things now that I'm thinking about it. Actually, you know, Elegy Acolyte, and that's one not everybody may know. This card here could be worth playing, right? It has lifelink. When one or more thing you have deals damage to your opponent, you get to draw a card. If something had died that turn, or actually if a non-land permanent left the battlefield, or something was warped, you get a 2/2 creature. But this could be useful as well as a way to gain life, let you get extra cards, especially since you're discarding and trying to redraw and keep fuel. That could be kind of cool too as an option. So I think this deck is playable. I think it has a lot of the right parts. I just don't think we know what the best build is. Even mine, based on just the day of events that we played this is like the 4th or 5th version, I think, that we've seen, and they all seem playable. So I'm not going to say one's good, bad, whatever. I don't think we know yet, and I think a lot of the choices are going to be metagame dependent. So I'm going to leave it at that. But link in the description, all that good stuff. You don't know the drill, save some money, become a member if you want your idea turned into a video, and don't forget to leave a comment on this video so that you can be included potentially in next week's drawing. But that's all I have for you for now. We'll see you next time. All right, so we got another one done. I'm going to mark this one, and then we'll see what we're going to do next. Let's go. I got to go all the way down here to mark this, huh? All right, so the Mayhem deck. Done. And let me check in on something real quick. I'm going to go over to our Discord just for a second, make sure we're all good. All right. Nope. I was going to say something to somebody, but I don't even know if they're still in the chat anymore. All right, that works. Cool, cool. What do we have left? We have, okay, here's the thing. Y'all might get to help us make some choices here. We do have the web slinging / in web deck that we might still play. Oh, I guess I have to do this from the event window, or else you can't really see all the cards properly. Because technically we don't own the cards in our accounts yet. They are just there for us to play with for the day. Which, you know, thanks Wizard of the Coast, legitly. All right. So here's one option. And this is playing a bunch of 1-mana things and then doing a bunch of in-web stuff. We are playing Spider Sense, Get Lost, Cosmic Grand Zenith, since we can bounce stuff and replay it, right? Give us a chance to do multiple things. I do feel like it almost needs another one of these, because we're playing mostly creatures. So to call Artifact or Enchantment is probably good with this. I don't even know why I'm not playing more in this list. At the beginning of your step, if you have 2 or more creatures enter battlefield under control this turn, you gain 2 life, you draw a card. Obviously, that's good for us, and it's got an web of 3. So there's a lot of good stuff we're doing here. I like this a lot. Question is, what can we cut to justify it? And I think it's probably this guy to play another one of these. So I think we got to have some upper end so we could take advantage of some different situations. Actually, you know what? I think we have enough 1-drops that I don't even know if I want Warden of the Inner Sky. Like, it's cool, and we get to scry, but if we already are doing some of these other things, then I would rather just draw more cards there. So, like, maybe go another Spider Sense. Counter target Ancient Sorcery. We already have Get Lost. Maybe another removal spell of some kind. I don't know what it would be just yet, but maybe. I don't know, I guess we'll go with this against potentially more cards, I guess. Also, I noticed a lot of these things with in-web, none of these have reach or flying, which is kind of weird. And now that I know that, that kind of makes me a little uncomfortable. I feel like we should be playing some other flyer or something. You know what I'm going to do with this? I'm going to put the card that's just stupid, and we all know it's stupid. Let's go Elspeth. Because the card's just absurd. All right, that at least makes sense. We can at least work from that. So here's the thing. We can play web slinging, or we can play your choice of either. Oh, why are they not up here? Are they still at the bottom? Yeah, so there's this one, because people have asked about this, of playing Vivi alongside what is the Shocker, right? So you can float mana and all that good stuff. The problem here is we're only really playing, what, 8 new cards? 4 copies of Shocker, 4 copies of Firebrained Scheme. So here's the thing. I'm willing to test this if willing to test it if we can find at least 2 more cards that we could swap stuff out for in here. I think if we could find 2 more things, I'd be willing to give this a go. So we can at least play some number of new cards. Because if we're not playing new cards, it just doesn't feel worth doing, you know? This is a bunch of draw discard stuff. So, I mean, we can cut some of this. But we need at least 2 of something. No, this deck doesn't want Cauldron. It's not a Cauldron deck, realistically. This is just trying to, like, cycle through cards, empty your hand, draw a bunch of stuff, finish your opponent off. You're not trying to get too crafty with this. Like, that's a whole different plan. That's not what this deck's trying to do. What if we go sets OM1 and just look at red? I mean, I guess technically blue cards too. We're not really wanting to use Detect Intrusion because we don't have that many creatures to begin with. Secret Identity until the turn target creature. Oh, do you know what? This actually isn't terrible. Turn a creature into a base 3/4. That actually is kind of useful, oddly. Because you could turn like your Slick Shot into a 3/4 plus it gets the +2/+0. You know what? I would try a couple of these. You could also give something 1/1 and hexproof, so it's a defensive card as well. All right, I don't hate it. Like it at least makes this somewhat entertaining to play. Now this deck only has 16 creatures, which doesn't make me excited. So is there a new creature we want to include? I mean, everybody wants to play with this guy, but I don't think this is the spot for it. Oh, in a weird way, what's that guy that turns into like a land? Oh, it's this, but it's double blue. But I'm just thinking, like, on some turns where we're mana light, this guy becoming a land's kind of cool. We only have a couple of blue spells, though, so we're not often going to be able to put counters on it. Would the in web cause Vivi to pop? What do you mean? Like, in web is just casting a creature. It's not that. I mean, playing a creature doesn't trigger Vivi. You have to play a spell. Or non-creature spell, I guess. Actually, it's not even that. Is it instant? No, it's non-creature. So artifacts and stuff too. Yeah. What else do we have in here? I feel like there's got to be at least one more thing in red we could think about playing. Are these guys any good? Target creature gains haste. It's cute. I don't think it's what we really want to be doing. What's this guy? Whenever you discard a card. Oh wait, why? We could play this. I mean, we're playing plenty of stuff to discard cards. Yeah, let's rock a couple of these guys. That seems cool. I'm not opposed to that. All right. Oh, now I have too many cards in here. But that's okay. I think we could cut these. And let's see. So we have this to discard a card or sacrifice land if you do draw. So we have basically that twice. So that's 8 of those. We have Artist Talent. Yeah, I think we could try this, right? That's a thing we could do. Like, I'm trying to talk myself into playing this deck, but we'll see. Let me sort some things here. And at least there's 18 creatures now, so at least kind of sort of does something. Laszlo Enthusiastic. It's Jay Jonah. The 3-mana guy? This guy. When enters, suspect up to 1 target creature. When a creature you control with menace attack. Yeah, this doesn't do anything here. That's just a high-costed 2/2 for us to force through a creature that probably already is going to do plenty. I don't say it does nothing, but I don't think it does what we're trying to do. If it also like drew a card or put counters on something or something like that, I might be a little more excited about it, but it's largely going to be a 3-mana 2/2 a lot of the time. So yeah, not super excited about it. I think we're going to rock with this. All right. Plus, I think this is the first time I've played VV, period. So this will also be fun. All right. What's up, Dragon Brood? Today it's my turn to be the bad guy because we're playing VV. And not only are we playing VV, we're doubling down and playing it with another supervillain. So we're doubly bad. But here's the plan. We're going to try to draw and cast a whole lot of spells really cheaply, fast as we can, and then just take advantage of our creatures getting boosted off of this. So we do have a couple of Secret Identity. This was a last-minute addition to the deck, but you can target creature you control. You can turn something into a 1/1 and give it hexproof, or you can turn something into a 3/4 base that has flying and vigilance, which is pretty good in this deck because our creatures will still get the bonuses. They just have a base power that changes. We do have Crash Through, which lets us draw and gives everything trample, which is big if you've grown your creatures. Firebrain Scheme. This lets us exile some cards from the top of our library, and then we could play those until the end of our next turn. Or 1 or 2 creatures get +1/+0 and first strike. It is a sorcery though. Marauding Mako, obviously we have a bunch of stuff that discard, so this hopefully will benefit. One of those things is Artist Talent. Every time we play spells, we can go ahead and discard and draw. We're probably hoping to do a lot of that here. Cam and Ferric. This is a 2-mana 1/2 with haste that gets a bonus every time we discard. So if we have something like Artist Talents going and we play a couple of spells, this thing could be a 5-power attacker pretty easily. Speaking of those ways to draw and discard, we have Grab the Prize, which is also some extra damage. Highway Robbery, so again, just discard or sacrifice a land, draw some cards. Slick Shot Show Off, obviously if we're playing all these cheap spells, this makes a big difference. And then one of the other new cards is Bayo, Irritable Instructor, which I believe is also the Shocker. So 3 mana, 2/3, it's a human villain with flying. We don't lose unspent red mana as steps and phases in, so we can just float mana, we can pop VV for 4 mana and just let it ride. And then when this leaves the battlefield, we can pay X and then use that to deal X damage to target player. So even if they get rid of this and we have like 4 mana floating, cool, we'll just pay the 4 and deal the 4 to the opponent. And then, of course, VV or Nitie, I should say, I almost said that wrong, is a 3 mana 0/3 every time. This card's just dumb. That's all there is to say about it. Like, when we play a non-creature spell, which we have several, we get to put a +1/+1 on VV. It deals a damage to our opponent. Then we can pay 0, and then we get any combination of blue and red mana off of it. By the way, also on this channel, this is the first time, I'm pretty sure, this is the first time we've actually played with VV in a deck. So, have fun with that. But yeah, if you've been looking to see if this deck's any good and you like it, link will be in the description. Go over to Moxfield, download it. Be sure to buy your stuff over at Tales of Adventure. It's TOAMagic.com, mostly because you can save 5% on everything over there with my code DRAGON. It's DRAGN, in case you're new here and didn't know. But, all that being said, let's go see if VV and, well, Shocker together are shocking. Alright, let's see what we can do with this. I have no idea. I feel like there's a chance this is going to be really cool or just really not fun at all. And I feel like it can go completely either way. Also, welcome to everybody. If you're new here, I am Power Dragon. I have a YouTube channel where I've literally posted stuff every day for over 5.5 years. You should come over and check it out. I have lots of cool stuff. Okay, let's keep it. District Mascot, which destroys artifacts, not enchantments. That's very good for us. Let's go ahead and play this. We need at least one more land, because I feel like we could set up another... Oh, this is going to get ugly fast. Yep. This is not going to be favorable. Yippers. Oh no, we're not even going to have mana to set up anything here. Wow. There's really nothing we can do here, huh? Because just playing another Mako doesn't do anything. I don't have anything to discard with here. I guess our best bet... No, that doesn't even do it. Dang. Yeah, maybe our best... No, let's just do this. And then no attacks? Oh yeah, there's just going to be big ol' Ouroborite after this. Yep. Yeah, opponent's just playing mono green aggro. Like, yeah, you're here, but you're not helping us. Yeah, I was hoping maybe we would get a land and there was some way we could, like, play a spell to trigger these, but yeah, that's just not going to be a thing here. Yeah, and this is a sorcery even, so we kind of have to do it now. Discard this, I guess. Another Mako. Oh, boy. I mean, I guess. But at this point, they just pump the... Well... I guess we take 2. Oh, but if I put this on red... I guess I don't have much choice, though, right? Yeah. We're just kind of up against it. Oh, yeah. We're dead. All right. GG's. I mean, that was just all old cards to just run us over. That's cool, though. But that's an example of why, with my green deck, I don't want to play it unless we can find at least 2 more cards to add to it. Because I don't want to do the exact same thing to somebody else. I'm just like, hey, look at all these old cards. You know? Because I also know that's not fun for y'all. Y'all want to see new cards, too. Ugh, this hand's not great. We'll... Alright. I'm on the draw. We'll see what happens. Alright. That helps quite a lot. I say quite a lot. We'll see how much a lot. But it at least does something here. Let's play this on blue. I mean, our Mako's going to die here, most likely. I say that. If it's a get loss, they're just going to kill our artist talent. No attacks. There's a bunch of random flash things and whatever. You could just flash in a Spider-Man there. Okay. Sure. You have a Screaming Nemesis. No blocks. Oh, jeez. All right. Well, we'll try again to set something up. Man, maybe I should just put that on red. I was anticipating drawing other stuff, but as it turns out, it's going to backfire. Yep. And you get access to a dude you can't play immediately, so that's not... Oh, well, no, it's still not a red land. Oh, gosh, you had another get loss? Jeez. How brutal. Alright, well, I guess we at least do this. That's not helpful here. I think I'm just getting punished by the Magic Gods for playing VV, honestly. As I should. Yep, you got it. I'm just going to take it. I don't think it's worth it for us to even worry about doing anything else here. Yeah, we didn't even get anything to play. Alright. That's unfortunate. Though, to be fair, I think this deck's playing land light because it's able to draw so deep. But I think it still needs at least one more mana. So let's go take a look real quick. Oh, I guess I can't mess with it because I'm in the event. So never mind. I just got to continue on with it as is. Yeah. All right. But I don't think... Like, I know everybody's worried about, oh, Electro plus VV, but I don't think it's as good as just playing any version of the current VV decks. Or if it is, it's just, you know, an equilateral line. I don't it's just on the same. I don't think there's anything better necessarily about it in all reality. All right. We got mana. We'll see what this turns into. I think we just put this on red. We gotta find spells, though, or the sand's gonna do a whole lot of nothing. No, I don't think this needs to do extra blue card drawing or whatever. I mean, the red cards all draw cards anyway. I want to plot this, especially since they've got black mana. And they've not been in a hurry here. Yeah, let's go here. All right. Sariema usually goes and gets something that's a sign of shenanigans. Okay, let's play this. I mean, I don't know if our board's going to get swept or not here, but let's find out. That takes a lot of mana. Let's do this. Alright. Definitely kill off one of those slick shot show-offs. Ugh. Is the plan here really to just another slick shot? I'm gonna do this. I will... You know what? I'm gonna decline. I'll just take the damage here. Yep. I'm actually kind of okay with that dying. Yeah, decline. We have no mana saved up. Okay, this works out. So we can do this. This. Discard a card or sacrifice a land. I will probably sacrifice a land here. Which will be... decline. I will sacrifice a land. Let's get rid of this. Nice. And then this time I will discard. And it will also pump our Marauder. Or Marauding Mako, I should say. Man, you drew a lot of removal on this one. Yeah, saying GG's. Discard. Sure. Alright, well, it worked. Can't really complain about that. Why not plot the highway before the big discard of prowess? Because I was just trying to play it right then. I was trying to not take another turn just to prowess to discard or whatever there. Which, honestly, there's an argument to be made if you just want to plot it. I don't think it's a terrible plan. Okay, we go first. We have Mako and not a lot else. I guess we could play Grab the Prize. All right. Let's go here and play good old Marauding Mako. I don't even actually know what I want to discard here. This is a real question. Probably this. It's a fun thing, but maybe this isn't the deck we're worried about it. Rather have the stuff to draw here, especially since we're not in a good spot with this hand. Alright. And then we get to be the bad guy and play Vivi for the first time. Torch. That makes sense. Hey, at least they torch that and not a Vivi, right? That's something. Let's... Yeah, let's do it. If you got another answer, you got another answer. Alright. Spiders will have... haste. Actually, just give everything haste or just spiders haste? Well, spider get riot, not just regular. All right. Return that. You have a 5/4. All right, so we are going to be on a clock. Yeah, that attacking for 5 makes a lot of sense here. All right, let me see what all this hubbub is about on Vivi now. Let's crash through. Discard this. Well, okay. What if we do this to get access to more cards? Discarding a land. With Slick Shot and 2 more things. Choose one. Probably this. Because it's cheaper. And then Vivi to fire those off, so we just get a bunch of red mana. Yeah, this card is dumb, y'all. There's no way around it. This card's stupid. I don't even think I'm going to discard here. Well, alright. We've already played a land for the turn. I guess we'll just play this and... Oh, yeah, that was dumb. I should have plotted that. Oh, that was terrible. They'll watch him give the big guy double strike or something here, and then we just lose. Which is possible. There's cards that do that now. Okay, fortunately that is not one of them. But it is still a significant amount of damage. That adds 6 to the board. 7 to... no. What am I saying? It turns that into a 6 while adding 3 to the board. Does it give this haste? No. Wait, they didn't put a counter on it and they didn't give it haste? I don't really understand. Like, what happened there? Well, either way, it's not attacking, so it's fine. Okay, we probably have everything we need here. I can pay for this just so these are cheaper? I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I guess. like, sure, why not? Vivi's giving us extra mana. This is so dumb. Alright. Cool, yay, we got there. Like, this feels so unsatisfying. Actually, we didn't even get there yet. Sorcery control would deal damage. I guess I should have just pumped this all the way up, huh? So yeah, they got us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just all red mana. Oh, it's if a sword deal non-combat damage. So that does make a difference. Alright, just play this. But yeah, if I'd have waited, we could have played this or the last one, and that would have made a lot of sense. Though, what happens if I just... Huh. Yeah, no attacks. I mean, if they have any significant spider here, we just die. Yep. That's 2. Do you have one more? They don't appear to. So let's block here. Let's block here. And let's block here. Oh, wait. What am I doing? I gotta block the big ones. Duh. We knew that going into this combat step. And then block here. Yep, still dead. Like, no good blocks. GG's. And I definitely could have played that differently, too. Yeah, I have to say, so far, I don't even feel like Electro's doing anything. Like, I almost don't even care to draw it most of the time. Hopefully I'll be proven wrong. We'll play a couple other ones, but I don't really see what Electro's supposed to do. And maybe that's just me being terrible at these types of decks. But I feel like we've seen cards like Electro before, and they didn't get played. So I'm kind of wondering. I don't think I'm drinking the Electro Kool-Aid, whatever flavor. It's electric blue. It has to be electric red. But he's a red card. It's probably electric blue, though. Alright, we'll keep. Let's go with this duder. Do. Herd Heirloom. Man, I love that card so much. Probably an unrealistic amount, to tell you the truth. Alright. So I think the plan here is going to be Slick Shot, Show Off. I mean, they probably have a way to kill it, but... Well, I guess they can't now, because we have the ability to protect stuff with our secret identity. Let's go ahead and do that. I actually kind of want to just discard this guy here. Because, again, what is Electro going to do this game? Like, we just float red mana for the sake of doing it? I'm sure somebody's going to use that card way better than me. But I'm not that person. I don't know what to say. A Braid. Let's make our guy a 3/4. Boom, he has a secret identity. He's a hero. At least right now. Hell yeah. Not so excited about those 2 lands, but it is what it is. Alright. And another Mako. Alright, so if we go Mako, Robbery, discard, Mountain? What does that do for us? Not a ton. But we're also not mad about it either. If I turn this into a 3/4, it's a 5/6, which would let it fight. Alright, I'm down. Oh, if I do this, this is a 3 with already a +1, so it's 4. This would be 5/6. That's not going to get it there. They'd be at 2. Alright, so I guess we just do this. Good old Dragonhawk. Oh my gosh, we drew all of these guys. Alright, well, fortunately we can attack here and it's safe. Alright. I will say this. Whenever you play a red instant sorcery, add a mana. Like, this can be played mid-combo-y to let you just keep going, especially since we have a bunch of 1-mana red things. So if we're in that scenario, it's actually pretty good. And there are some cases where, even here, we could have just played it, floated some mana, the opponent blocks, we get to shoot them, or we block, and then we get to shoot them for 2 more. So it does have some uses. As much as I'm kind of down on the card, I at least see what it can do. Everyone thought Burgie... Yeah, Burgie didn't break the format either. Burgie was similar-ish, and it was good. I mean, there were some decks where you could play her, but she definitely didn't even come close to breaking the format. But I'm with you. People were concerned about, wait, you're going to be able to play 10 spells in a turn and whatever, and it just kind of never happened like that. Yeah, if you're on the East Coast, it's definitely midnight for you. Oh, man, I have like one random... like gnat/fly or something floating around. It's super annoying. How much longer stream? Oh, I'm going to be on for a while, buddy. I still have at least one other deck, if not 2 other decks that I'm going to play. So we're going to be here a minute. If you got to get sleep, go get some sleep. You can catch up with the stream tomorrow. It'll still be a VOD you can go download and watch. Don't hurt yourself. Go get rest. Especially since you've got, like, a restaurant job, you said. Like, that's something you really need your energy for. All right. We are back. We're good at drawing Makos, at least. So there's that. Let's Mako it up. I am going to attack, see what the opponent feels about it. Yep, alright. We'll just set this dude away for future considerations. That's the dude that becomes a land or whatever. Like, that's such a cool card. Alright, we're going to put this on... I should be putting it on red. I already know. But I'm going to put it on blue. Because if I don't, I'll feel worse when I draw the blue cards and can't cast them. Then we'll go attacking. Alright. In the turn. Alright. Electro, this is your time to shine. Don't let us down. The world's watching. Okay, if we get an untapped red land here, we could do a lot of things, actually. Oh, yeah, we're definitely not blocking. No, that's not what we wanted. Okay, here's what we're going to do anyway. We're going to play this. We're going to play this. Discarding a highway robbery. Because that deals damage. And we generate 1. Whoa, that didn't work at all, did it? Yeah, let's go ahead and do this. Trigger our cards. Get the red mana back. We did find a land, which I think I'm going to take that. Play a land. We're going to go ahead and play this now. Gonna discard, though, a Slick Shot show up. Actually, crap. That was a bad choice. I could have just played Slick Shot into this. Oh, well, we've already committed. I should have done that, though. But we're already here. Let's do this and draw. We get our mana back. And then that should get us there anyway, right? Yep. Alright. And that's why we actually get to play Electro. Okay. That works. And it's funny because I was just thinking about, hey, here's some things we could do with Electro. And then that's exactly the situation you want Electro for in this deck. So, there you go. I still think it's kind of fragile, but it needs to be because of what it enables. But that was turn 4, and we didn't even have our 4th land on turn 4. We did most of that with 3. Actually, we really ended up not even using the land I got. We were basically able to do all that on just 3 lands, which is kind of crazy. Oh, opponent probably was going to play Mysterio. We've seen Mysterio a couple of times today. One time it got us, one time we killed Mysterio and killed its like 3 tokens. So, again, I'm okay with cards having these big effects if they're fragile, right? The problem with VV is you kind of most of the time get one window to deal with the card, and then if you don't, VV does like 6 damage, draws 5 or 6 cards, becomes like this giant creature, whatever, right? And that's the issue. Whereas the others, they're always usually like 2 or 3 toughness, and they just stay that way unless you're doing a bunch of other stuff to make them work, right? Which is fine. If they work to keep it alive, great. VV's just unfortunately a 1-card engine in and of itself. All right. Let's see if we could do that again here. I doubt it. That was a lucky hand, but we'll see. Wow, no creatures in this hand. That's probably not how we want to start, I'd imagine. Let's mulligan. Okay, we got Cam and Ferric. I don't know if that's any good. Wow, is it weird that I kind of want to put Vivi at the bottom? I don't think we can, though. I think I got to do this. But man, I thought about it. I really thought about it. Now, of course, because I didn't put a land back, my first card's going to be a land. Okay, it wasn't. I was like, I would have felt pretty bad about that. How are we going to get where we want to go here, though? That's sort of what I'm thinking. All right. Here's the working plan. I think we go ahead and just plot this. And that gives us a chance to kind of think about what we need to do. Because we could VV for a point, but I don't think that's nearly good enough here. So I guess until the opponent commits, I'm just going to put this on red. Yeah, I don't think we need to do anything here. Especially with Cam and Ferric having haste. But this also tells us the opponent's just sitting on a bunch of removal spells. So they know what we're doing, at least to some extent. So we're just playing a silly game of chicken. Or they assume we have counters, which also isn't totally wrong. But considering we're playing blue, I get why they would be in that mindset. So I kind of want to wait till I have one more way to draw extra cards. And then start looking, or maybe even some other threat, like a slick shot show off or something. So they have to have 2, 3, 4 answers, not just 2, right? 2 won't be enough, I don't think. This is kind of a silly game. We're just watching paint dry, right? They don't want to commit. We don't want to commit. Oh my gosh, and we're just drawing land, so we're not helping our own cause here any. All right. And what's tough is technically they're just going to be getting more removal the longer this game goes on. So it's not going to get better for me. But not commit. I'm literally just hoping for, like, just give me another reasonable spell. Jeez. Like, we've ripped like 4 lands in a row. Like, come on. I just want to get to where we can chain a few cards. Maybe make something happen. You know. This is, okay. This is getting ridiculous. Like, come on, man. Or if we can get one of our protective spells, then I'll probably go for it and see if we can protect Vivi, right? Hey, we both have 20 life. Go figure. All right. Now can we get a slick shot show off? Of course not. All right. Time to fire off all of our guns here, though. Let's go Vivi. Got to make sure I have enough mana for everything I want to do here. Let's go here. Let's play this, discarding one of these mountains in hand. Discard a card. All right. Well, crash through will work. Let's go ahead and spin this. I will discard. Actually, have we? Oh, I don't even know. Have we played a land for the turn? We haven't. So maybe I don't want to do that. Damn. Nah, Vivi's going to generate enough mana here. Let's just do it. Plus, there's a chance we're just going to draw land anyway. Okay, well now we got a whole different situation on our hands. Because we can play this, get 3 mana. We're kind of one short of doing the thing we want to do, though. Let's do this. Crash through. Yeah, it's another land that's untapped. So that helps. All right, let's play it. Let's put it on red. Pay the life. Fire. If I fire Vivi off, we get no more mana. All our mana has to come from Electro here. But I think it's fine. And then go ahead and if we do this now, we get one. Let's do this first. Oh, you could have been sick. Yeah, I might have backed myself into a corner here. All right, well, is what it is. YOLO. Let's go ahead and discard a card, I guess. Discard this thing. All right, that's something. I mean, we're just chaining stuff together now, seeing how far this can go. If we get another one of those, we might even consider first striking, but... Oh, Secret Identity does not help us here. Still gonna take it, but... I guess we just get to play this. And attack. Alright. And now they sweep the board because they're playing some control-ish pile. Actually, they'll probably just play another one of these and swap life totals. I mean, sure. Though I should let them hit me because if we go to 13 and they go to 12, they're only gaining 1 point. So that probably would have been smarter. Alright. Or lose life equal to the number of creatures they control. Then destroy all creatures. Yeah, alright. Well, that worked. Yeah, you take 0. How you like that? Okay, well. Play this, level it, level it. That's kind of all we can do. But I definitely played that last turn incorrectly. Though, realistically, we would have just got to crash through one more time. And seeing that we just drew a land, we probably would end up in the same situation. So, didn't really change much. Yeah, now we're just sitting on the crash throughs. Yeah, I assume we're just not going to win this. I would like for the opponent to play something significant here, and then let us give them the GGs. Yeah, alright, that works for us. Sounds like a plan. Yeah, we got nothing really here. I mean, we play the slick shot. Wait, the opponent conceded? I don't know what just happened. I'm I'm genuinely confused about what just went down. The only thing I can assume here is they thought we were going to go off with the 3 cards, and they just didn't have any more removal spells left in hand. Or at least not any that cost 3 or less. They might have, like, inevitable defeats or something. Now, that being said, we were going to Slick Shot, crash through. So this is 1, 3, 5, plus we get access to a couple of cards. And to be fair, we've already seen a crap ton of land. So there's a chance we still could have won that turn. But, I don't know. That's a weird one. Yeah, I for real don't know what happened there. I mean, we'll take it, but that's not... I don't know. That's one of those ones where you're saying, like, did we get the win? Like, I don't think so. We have a win in the history books, but I don't think we have the for real moral victory, you know? That's weird, though. I have not... I feel like at least once a month I have something happen in Magic that I've just not had happen before. That's definitely one of them. Yeah, that's exactly it. This is not the win we were looking. This is not the win for which you seek, or whatever, right? This it was sort of what that felt like. Ugh, so silly. Things happen, though. I mean, who knows? Maybe the opponent misclicked or whatever. It could have been a pile of things happen, if we're being honest. I have done dumber things. I'm not going to pass judgment on them for it. But man, this set, I will say, does have a lot of cool cards. Maybe the DoorDasher. That's true. I've had that happen where you're like, I got to go grab the pizza at the door, or whatever the case is. But yeah, I think there's a lot of people who tried to just say, like, oh, I'm going to ignore the set because it's Spider-Man and blah, blah, Universes Beyond and Standard. But y'all, there's actually just good cards in this set. Seriously. We are going to mulligan this. And, ugh, gross. I guess we'll keep it. But I don't feel good about it. Bastronaut. All right. Those duders might get a move on faster than we like. Okay. You know, I'm just thinking, there's no way, realistically, let's put this on red. Just let it enter tapped. That Electro's gonna live against this combination of colors, right? But I feel like Vivi is stronger. Cool to see Gloria / Arania show up in non-spider decks. Whoa, what was that? Whoa. Okay. Cool stuff, opponent. Actually, I'm into that. All right. I'm going to assume this dies. If it doesn't, awesome for us, but I can't imagine it lives. Yeah, if this lives, I can't imagine that they don't have just like instant speed stuff or counters or something. Because that's crazy. Alright, get a card. It is a land. I mean, the truth is, if they kill our cards, we're just dead here, right? Because there's nothing we can do. Because we're not going to stop a double-striking, gigantic dude. And that's not to say they don't have another one of those. Decline. We didn't have any mana banked. Pixie probably not picking up anything, I imagine. Okay. That's a little weird. Alright, well. Vivi. Oh, actually, here's a fun thing. We could actually make Vivi's power 3. And then try to chain off. Not something I was thinking about, but that's real. Because otherwise, we're just playing cast through for 1 and then nothing potentially. So yeah, let's try this. We're probably still dead. But we're just gonna give it a fighting chance, I guess. So Vivi's a 4. Then we get... Yeah, alright. I mean, I guess this is what we gotta do. I don't even know what I'm hoping to hit here, though, is the problem. So let's do this. Discard this. Oh, Cam and Ferric, you would have been cool a while ago. Are we okay just playing that as a blocker? That can't be right. I think we have to, though, right? Because we have to chump block the other two. This gets to pump twice to go to 3, 4, 5, and we're at 1. All right, I guess this is the play we have to make. But if they have any removal card, we just lose. Which, to be fair, there's a good chance they do at this point. But it's kind of all we can do. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't a happy situation. It's just the necessary situation. Okay. I was going to say, what's funny is, if they attack like that, we still have to chump block the Pixie. Or else we just end up dead when they double pump their other guy, which is funny. And now if they have Torch, they just use Torch to kill Vivi. But what are we going to do, you know? Like, if we don't, we're just dead. So, kind of is what it is. Alright. Do we have anything left? Geological Appraiser's a good card. Yep. And what do we hit? Another creature. Oh boy. I think we're just dead here. Because I don't even know what combination of stuff we can draw to make Vivi get us where we need to go. For it honestly, it starts with us drawing, well, not a land. Not that. I am going to crack one of these to see if we can try to make sure there's no more lands on top. Oh, you don't even help us here. Yeah, I don't think we have any real outs here, y'all. Yep, that's not going to cut it. All right. That's probably going to be it. Yeah. Or 2 of our 3 top cards were lands. So, all right. GG's. We tried. we gave it the college try. It didn't work out. But yeah, let's take a look at the deck. Because it's really interesting. Why is it down here? It's weird how it splits some of these above and some of these below. Yeah, so about this deck. It feels like this is an early version of what it eventually could be. I will say this, though. Secret Identity, this card could be real on its own with some slick shot, is it variant or whatever. This is just really good, right? Because this turns a 1-2 slick shot by itself into, what, a 5-4? Like, that's pretty cool. You know what I mean? It's basically like getting to play 2 red spells that pump this up, but you just get to play one thing on it. And you can protect it against various things, which is kind of nice. So I like that. Vivi's cool in here. But what's funny is, I think we only won 1 game actually because of Vivi. The rest of the time, I was like off of the other things doing what they're doing. So if there were some other cards, I think like Cam and Ferric, that got a bonus from you just playing more spells or whatever, then I think you could deep dive a little bit more, maybe cut some number of Vivis, and then just try to go hard on just like draw cards, draw cards, draw cards, draw cards, trigger these things and go. Because the fact that they have haste, this is almost like having a backup slick shot, right? It's slick shots number 5 and 6. Possibly, I mean, obviously this one's legendary, so you can only have one more on the battlefield, but you get what I'm saying, right? It's another version that you can draw with this. But overall, I mean, the deck worked. I mean, is Bayo slash Shocker legit? Yeah, with a question mark. I think the times it goes off and it does its thing and you draw the right cards, it's going to look phenomenal. But I think there's several games like what we had where we kind of went, I don't know about this card, right? So sometimes it can do the big thing, but there's a lot of times you're going to be like, yeah, I'm just going to discard this, right? I'm in a situation where this is going to be it. The fact that it's 3 mana does make it somewhat of a liability to cast sometimes. I do like, though, that it's a 2/3 flyer. It allows you to block a lot of the opposing things and buy that extra turn. And there are some situations where if you have spare mana, that's where you go, okay, I'm just going to crack VV for, let's say, 4 or 5, let the mana ride, and then if your opponent gets something that kills Bayo, you're like, great, take 5 anyway, right? So that's the other thing. So in combination, they do something together. Do I think they're going to break the format or whatever? Not right now. Is it possible if somebody figures out the most streamlined, perfect version of this deck? Yeah, probably. But is it going to be better than the other things people are already doing with VV? I don't know. You know, I don't think so. But I've been wrong before, so we'll see. But either way, link is in the description if you want to give this a try or update it and have fun with it over at Moxfield. Don't forget, go check out the folks over at Tales of Adventure. Save some money on Magic. Become a member because that'll allow you to get your video made here on the channel. And, of course, don't forget to leave a comment so you're eligible for the drawings that we do. Otherwise, that's all of you for now. We'll see you next time. Also, thanks for everybody who's been following. I think I missed a couple of those. I was in the middle of playing, didn't get to acknowledge some people. But yeah, if you've been following or subscribing, wherever you are, because we are live on 3 places. We are on Twitch, we're on YouTube, and Facebook. I appreciate every one of you. Really, genuinely, I do. This is awesome. It's always cool when we get to do that. And there's a good bit of y'all watching on both Twitch and on Facebook. I appreciate y'all. Well, all right, that's another one down. So that's our 6th deck of the day so far, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. So let me hop over and mark that one real quick before I forget. Because one of the things that gets crazy, this is kind of a peek behind the curtain for those of you that don't know, we only have access to this client for 24 hours. So from 10 a.m. Pacific on Wednesday until 10 a.m. Pacific on Thursday, that's all, right? We don't get to see it. So once I log off of this late stream, I immediately go to downloading all my deck lists, loading them into Moxfield, making sure I have all the right things tagged. Try to get at least 1 or 2 videos edited before I go to sleep, which will probably be like 1 or 2 in the morning. And then that way I at least have access to the majority of the things I need in case I need to make a correction or I need to go grab an image of a card or whatever. Like, it's a pretty hectic day for those of us that put up, you know, regular content every day on our channels. Because, again, it's a small window of time. We got to take advantage of everything we can. And I've even woken up the next day before, hopped on, finished a thing, or at least like hopped on so I could re-record a thing with the actual footage. So otherwise I have to do a thing where I get maybe like Moxfield up so I could show some stuff that I'm trying to explain or whatever. It's wacky. It's wacky. But, you know, it's what we do. It's like what you would do for any of your jobs though, right? Everybody's got weird things that they got to do to get paid. Some more weird than others. I'm not going to judge you for it, but just saying. Okay. Let's go back to the events. Let's go get back in here. And I think we're going to do some web slinging. I think that's our next thing that we've got available. We got some web slinging. So, first things first. I'm going to... Can I... What does this look like here? Does this move cards? This puts cards behind me. That's not any good. All right. So, I'm going to give everybody a chance. Are there cards that you would like to see in here that you do not see in here currently? And I will give a quick rundown. We have City Pigeon, so if we bounce this, we get to make food tokens whenever it leaves the battlefield. We do have Spyglass Siren. Obviously, when we play it, we get maps. Llanowar Elves just for mana, obviously. Paw Patch recruits just to pump our team if they're targeting stuff, but also we could play it early and then replay it late, or just keep picking it up and make more Paw Patch tokens, which is nice. We have some Get Lost for removal, a couple of Spider Sense, so we can counter some abilities and things. We do have Cosmogrand Zenith, since we'll be bouncing some of our cheap 1/1s and replaying them. This is Yera and Oski. This actually allows us to web for 1, which is a big deal. This is a web for 3, but this is one of the ways we can draw cards. So if we had 2 creatures enter the battlefield under our turn this turn, we get to draw 2 cards. Eleni lets us make extra tokens whenever we play creatures. Also, you can pay 2 or pay 5 to give your creatures 2/2 and vigilance, so can't really underestimate that. And then we have Alessos and Pras. This lets us put a +1/+1 counter on a creature whenever we cast a creature spell, which is also very good. But it also gains flying to end of turn, which is big, because outside of just a couple of creatures, this deck doesn't really have a lot of flying. And then 1 Elspeth. So, is there anything that you've been wanting to see or wondering can be played in this deck that you might want to talk about or see us try before we play these games? Because this is an opportunity to ask those questions or say, hey, can we try this card or whatever the case is? Because this is that time. It's no way to... I mean, I guess getting rid of some artifacts might be neat, or graveyardy stuff, but I just feel like if you're doing the graveyard thing and you just get us, you just get us. Like, we'll just have to accept it, I guess. It's a convoluted combo, but supportive parents with the token maker and the 2 of the creature that Websling for 1 creates infinite tokens. So what you're saying is if we have a less, or actually not that one, if we have a Lenny, when we play a creature, we make a token. And then one of these, because it webs for 1, we could play supportive parents so that we can tap any 2 creatures to make a mana of any color. So then we could tap, let's say, the new token if we want to, and this thing, make white mana, play the other Yera and Oski, returning this one, and then just make a whole bunch of things. Yeah, we're not going to do that. I just want to explain it so everybody can see it. I think it's... I don't think it's bad to include, if you want to just include like 1 supportive parents just because. It is a way to also tap your creatures so you can get stuff in with in web or Websling. But that does involve having 5 cards, right? Because you have to have the supportive parents, you have to have Eleni. Oh, actually, I guess 4 cards. And you have to have 2 Yera and Oski in hand. So that also requires you to play at least 3 Yera and Oski and probably at least 2 or 3 supportive parents on top of everything else. So it's neat. If you wanted to squeeze it in just so you could possibly do it at some point, I don't think that's terrible. What about the artifact that makes all creatures a creature type? Artifact that makes all creatures a creature type. Type artifacts. Is one that says choose creature type? This guy? That just is. This one lets you choose, and then you can pump everybody. And then there's this that pumps stuff, and then this obviously copies whatever abilities, and then this just makes them bigger. I don't know which one you're talking about. Yeah, I don't know of the artifact that lets you choose a creature type, or maybe I'll just put in creature type. Maybe there's a different one I'm missing. Is it a white one? Nope, those are from Final Fantasy. Yeah. I don't know what we're referencing. I am not familiar with your game, basically. Enchant. Oh, Leyline Trent. No, we are not Leyline or Transformation. No. I will tell everybody right now, unless you have a legit secret sauce with Leyline or Transformation, don't even bother recommending it on this channel. Like, I'm done with that card. I'm out. You can't convince me. Like, I can't. Like, I have tried genuinely. Well, not as many as I've tried with Slime Against Humanity. I think I've made for like 25 versions of Slime Against Humanity. I've probably made about 12 or 13 versions of Leyline, the new Leyline of whatever, right? Transformation. And the reality is, most of the time, you have to play some number of cards that aren't as good when you don't have the Leyline. And when you get the Leyline and you don't get the payoff, then you just have an extra dead card and it just feels bad. And you just end up being worse than everything every other deck is doing. So for me, I just don't think that's even worth trying, honestly. Yeah, I get it. Don't get me wrong. I get the appeal because, again, I've built a bunch of versions with it to try to make it work. It just never works. Like, there's a reason you don't see people playing Leyline, even though you can envision in your head the Magic Christmas Land where this has got to be good. It's just not. You'll do the thing once every, like, I don't know, probably like 6 to 8 games, and it'll feel awesome the one time, and then you're just chasing that for the next, like, 5, 6, 7, 8 games. Then it happens again, and you're like, we're almost there, and you make some changes, and you still have the same average. It just never changes. Is Gene Pollinator worth it as an enabler? Maybe. I think that's reasonable to ask. I don't think that's unreal. Right? We could play some number of those. I think that's fair. Right? Like, we could not cut those. I'm actually thinking about adding one more. Cut a Spider Sense, maybe one Pigeon, maybe one Recruit. And then Pollinator probably makes sense. I don't think that's the craziest thing. Oh, whoa. Can I not? What? Is Pollinator not showing up in this thing? Am I crazy? Is he not? Oh, it has 2 L's. No, I'm an idiot. Of course. The word's pollen. What am I thinking? All right. Either way. We now have Gene Pollinators in the list. Man, we're going crazy here. Arcane Adaptation. What the hell is that card? I feel like this is a card I'm immediately going to say no to. Is that not a thing? Okay, well, I'll just put in Arcane. All right. I don't know what that is. It's not standard legal, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, that's what I put in. I put in Adaptation. I put in Arcane. Nothing came up. Adaptation. That's how I spelled it the first time. Okay, this thing. Oh, Arachnoid Adaptation. That's why. It's not Arcane. 2/2. Creature gains reach until end of turn. Untap it. No, I'm not super excited about this. I do like the fact that it gives stuff reach, because we don't have a lot of flyers or anything in here, but I feel like that's kind of the only thing we're gaining. I'd rather be more likely to just play some spider creature that happens to just have flying or reach or something. I think that would just feel better in the end. Yeah, I'm not really feeling that too much. I don't think it's necessarily a bad card. I just don't think it's what we're really going to be trying to do here for the most part. I also think I want to cut one of these and play one more of these, since it's just so cheap to Websling or whatever in web. All right. Okay. I think this is what we're going to do. Oh, Arcane Adaptation is a blue enchantment. Huh. All right. Well, if it's standard legal, it should be in here. There was the Arachnoid one or whatever, but, I mean, is Adaption a card? No, it's not. All right. I thought maybe we did have the misspelling or whatever the first time correct, but yeah, not sure what to tell you there. Okay, let's get ready to fire this one off. What's up, Dragon Brood? It's that time. It was only a matter of time till we tried to use the mechanic web slinging, or in this case, Entomb, if you're only playing on Arena through the Omenpath. And there's a lot of cool stuff, a lot of neat interactions. No idea how good this is going to be, but it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. So let's get to it. Starting at the top, we do have things we want to bounce. So we do have some City Pigeon. Whenever these get bounced, we get food, which is nice. Spyglass Siren, we get to play maps and hopefully replay more maps. And this is good too because we don't have a ton of ways to pump our creatures up, and this is one way we could do that, which would be nice. Gene Pollinator, this lets us tap multiple things and generate mana, which could make it easier for us to maybe even in web on multiple turns or multiple things in a turn, which could be nice. Same thing with Llanowar Elves, gets us some mana but makes it easy for us to in-web and get some good value. Paw Patch Recruit, this will let us get some extra counters on our creatures, and that's good, but we can also just keep bouncing Paw Patch Recruits and making more recruits. So I don't know if that's going to be any good, but it's the thing we're trying. We have some Get Lost and Detect Intrusion, which is Spider Sense. So we can counter target instant, sorcery, or triggered ability, and we could do it for 1 mana with in-web, which is really nice. We do have Cosmic Grand Zenith, so we can play multiple things in a turn, which one of the reasons we have so many 1-mana things is that after we in-web, we should be able to just play another creature, and that should be good to go. Yara and Oski, pretty sweet here, letting us choose to make some type of card more expensive that's not a creature. And honestly, we don't have much, so we could just call, like, enchantments, whatever. Like, even calling artifact doesn't hurt us too much, because I think we just have Gene Pollinator. Sarn of the Silken Throne, this lets us in web for 3, and then at the end of the turn, if we've had at least 2 creatures into the battlefield, that turn we get to draw a card and gain 2 life, so that's doing a couple of things for us here. A Lenny is really good, so whenever we play a creature, we get another 1/1 human token, and we can pay 5 and give ourselves +2/+2 in Vigilance, so that'll be good later in the game. Of course, 1 Elspeth, because why not? If you're playing creatures and white mana, you might as well play an Elspeth. And then we have Alesso and Pros, so we can in-web for 3, which is very cheap on a 4/4, which is nice. But when we cast a creature spell, we get to put +1/+1 counters on target creature we control, and it gains flying until end of turn. So we have a few things going on here that should all be pretty awesome. But, like always, at the end of the video, if you want to download this and try it, we'll have a link that takes you over to Moxfield, our channel sponsor. And if you want to save 5% on literally everything you buy for Magic, check out our friends at Tales of Adventure. It's toamagic.com. Use my code DRAGON, DRAGN, and they'll get you that 5% on everything you put in your cart. But for now, though, let's go see if we can sling our way to some wins. I don't know if that terminology works, but that's what we're going with. We could do Ouroboros, but we're not doing that right now. Like, we're trying to play new cards. I mean, obviously, Ouroboros can end up in every single deck that's green and creatures if you want it to. It's a good card. We all know it's a good card. But yeah, I don't know if you see the countdown timer. It says there's 13 hours left. So basically, 13 hours and change, which is 10 a.m. At least 10 a.m. Pacific time. It's different depending on where you're at, obviously. Okay, we get to go first. Let's keep it. And we're going to play Llanowar Elf into Pollinator Siren. And sadly, all we'll have then is Yara and Oski, but they'll just have to get the work done, because I don't know what else we're going to do. All right. I mean, the good news is we have plenty of mana, so whatever we draw, we can get all of our things onto the battlefield. Man, that's a card that's kind of fallen off a little bit, huh? Hey, thanks for that. Got a new channel member. This is tough, because I want to so badly play Cosmic Grand Zenith here. We're going to do it. If they have shelter, they just have shelter. Is what it is. Okay, they didn't have shelter. That's nice. Our creatures are going to come into play tap, though. Oh, no. That's the other one. Oh, okay. Well, that's a whole different card than I thought we were going to see. All right. Well, we can Entomb to bounce a Llanowar Elf, and then we can just replay Llanowar Elf and make a bunch of Duders. That seems good. All right. This is some crazy shenanigans we're about to do here. Play this. Stack them like that. Works for us. Yeah. Let's make more 1/1s. And then attack. Alright, this is a good turn 3. This actually, or actually this is turn 4, because we played, oh no, we played this one too, and this is turn 3. Whoa! This is quite an explosive turn 3. And then the fact that we have this, knowing that they're playing this, we can just call enchantment Oh my god, this is crazy. Like, I don't even blame the opponent for having a pause there, because, like, a lot just happened. You know what I mean? For turn 3, we kind of had a bunch of silliness just go off. Entity tracker, sure. Oh, and we can get cards on the cheap? Oh my gosh. This doesn't even seem fair. Let's get green. Let's just play this for 1 white. Picking this up. We'll call enchantments. Not that that was a secret. We knew what we were going to do before we even saw that. And then we can do this for 3? Wait, why is it not letting me? Can we only web 1 thing a turn? Oh, because I don't have a thing that's tapped yet. That makes a lot of sense. Yep, okay then. And I don't have a way to automatically tap 1. Dig it. All right. We're on the same page again. Let's do this. We will put +1/+1s on things. And then we'll make a flyer. Then we'll play this knucklehead. My god, this is crazy. Yeah, we're just getting them all in there. Let's go. I mean, do what you're gonna do. Like, we've done what we can do here. Yep, you got it. Yep, I agree. Yep, no blocks. Sure, we're gonna tap this for green. We're gonna play this. Get it in cheap. Bounce this. Make another duder. It's just like infinite creatures. This is wild. Put a counter on, I don't know, something that's gonna attack that's somewhat relevant. I don't know. I mean, I guess on a flyer? Hell if I know. Like, I mean, like, we just have so much going on right now. You block. You take 2, 4. You probably block this, actually. So you block that, take 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, everybody's in there. Let's go. This is that math is for blockers point. We're just getting it in there. Don't know if they're dead or not. We'll find out in a second. Nope, they're at 1. All right. This was a sick turn 3, though, that led to this situation. Yep, it's big. Fortunately, all those cost more, so that's good. Yeah, now they gain 8, and that's ball game. Cool. We can live with that. No, that's also super exciting. We just have to pay 2, 4 to kill that? Oh, it has double ward, because you have 2 Layla. Actually, whatever. I know what I want to do. Let's just get rid of this. That's all we want to do anyway. I mean, I could have just killed a blocker, but whatevs. Alright, that was actually very impressive. Very impressive. Do I have a planet in the mana base? I really don't, because I don't feel like we desperately need to. I mean, we could. But, I mean, we do have pollinators. We have these. I mean, we have some flyers. Also, thank you, Super Saiyan Dog. I really appreciate that. But I don't think planets are bad for this type of deck. I mean, totally reasonable. Or equipment, or not equipment, but vehicles even, I think could be justified. Or some spacecraft so you can station, whatever, right? Oh, you know what? You know what? We'll talk about it at the end of the video. I'm gonna make a note, but there is a very important thing I think we could do actually. I'm gonna make a note here, and I'm gonna put a big fancy square rectangle around it. So, yeah. But man, this set has some crazy cards. I can only imagine what we're gonna do with some of these cards. I think everything you're seeing today is literally just tip of the iceberg. I would imagine not a single deck you've seen today is probably at its final form. Or any, I would say close, but some of them are just like old decks where they swap like 6 or 8 cards. But none of the stuff with new cards that are new card heavy, definitely know those aren't close. But it's possible we could get to some really sweet stuff out of this set, for sure. All right, this hand is definitely slower than our last one, to say the least. All right, that's cool. Actually, you know what's interesting? Because you choose a basic land type, you can actually turn on your verges and stuff with this, which is kind of neat. Because a lot of these lands, a lot of times will just say, like, you know, I'm going to play this just tapped because I think that's fine. And we'll attempt to attack. All right, cool. A lot of times just like choose a color. It enters tapped or not and generates whatever, right? But this is literally just like it becomes that basic land type. What do you do? Double strike and can't be blocked. Wow, that's probably bad for us. Actually, I would bet any real amount of money that that's horrendous for us. Yeah, what are we doing here? I guess this? And then just pass? Yeah, if they have one protective card, we're kind of screwed, right? I forgot that was in the set. Entity Tracker. I'll have 3, 4, 5 mana next turn. Yeah, sure, you get an Entity Tracker. I'm gonna kill this. Tap this, I guess, is fine. And then we can kill the tracker. So we can just go here. Play a second spell. Tap this. Make duders. And then we have to just hope to find some of our in-web stuff from here. We've got the parts. We just got to get there now. We did leave them with a stack of maps. Has flying as long as it's modified. Well, guess what? I bet you it's going to be modified. Nope, they found a land. You get another shot at it, though. Yep. Oh, Authority of the Consuls. That will probably be a reasonable amount of life for them, if I were guessing. Let's play this as a forest, I guess. I don't even think it matters what we make this. Yeah, we're just gonna pass. I want to save this. I mean, I guess it doesn't matter. If we get in web card, we just bounce something, right? And actually, if they killed the pollinator, we wouldn't have an easy way to tap things. So I probably should have played the Llanowar Elf just because. But this makes my job easy now, though, because everything enters tap. So there's that. Yeah, you'll get a card for your troubles. You know what? I'm actually... Nah, that's fine. That's fine. No blocks. Sure. Get a card. Oh, you don't even get a card? Does that generate a treasure? Oh, it makes a clue. Well, this is unfortunate. We have now hit the portion where we're just drawing mana and doing much of nothing else. So that's not great. Not great. Man, any in-web creature could have at least helped us out a good bit there. But now I think Anything else is about to hurt. Yep, that's a real deal. Once that thing gains flying or something, we're real screwed. Now, is this... Oh, it's just whenever that creature. Okay, because I was like, man, does this give anything that's modified flying? Because that would have been sicko. Alright. Come on, deck. Don't do us like this. You know, sure, that's something. Why not? Not what I was looking for, but hell, we'll take it at this point. Alright. I think we're just going to go +1s here. Do we just play this? Probably, I don't know. Pass the turn. We're in pretty rough shape here. It took us too long to find another real spell. Well, the good news is this thing has first strike and double strike, but we can chump block it with the token or whatever. Well, we can. Oh no, we can't even block. That's unblockable, actually. Right? Yeah. You got us. All right, GG's. We're dead. Yeah, we just sat around too long. They didn't even have to do much to kill us there. No, that's not the arena shuffler. That's just shufflers, period. I don't believe in the shuffle truth, because I've seen just as all the crazy things people complain about in arena, I've seen in real life Magic happen. Some of it to me, you know, and I was the shuffler. So yeah, I don't do the shuffler shenanigans. We're all playing with the same rules and the same thing, and if it doesn't work in your favor, it doesn't work in your favor. You know, let's keep it. I have a theory. If the pollinator lives, we could play Siren into another Siren. We could play this tapped, and then maybe we have some shenanigans the next turn. We need some stuff to go our way. We'll see, but maybe. Little puppers. Trying to look angry. That's always funny, man, when like baby animals try to be mean. It's the like I feel bad laughing at them because they're trying their best, but you know, it's cute. It's too cute. Okay, if we play this, nah, we still got to play this tapped. And then we, whoa, arena, come on now, we'll take a point. Let's play this. And then we'll play this. All right. Then we can start thinking about what to do next turn. Fear of missing out, but we will not be immediately attacking. Would we rather try... The thing... I guess... This is tough. I don't know which of these I value more. The thing that makes more 1/1s or the thing that gets us cards in life. Because that's a real question. Because we can tap 3 things. We get to play this untapped. Alright. Let's attack with both the flyers. Let's play this on green. I'll pay the life. I'm just going to go ahead and get cards here. And if you just kill this, you get to kill it, I guess. So let's, in web, bounce this. And then tap this for blue. And then play this. Alright. We're kind of doing the thing. What did they put? Oh, this is Vraska's joins up? You never see this. Whenever legendary creature control deals damage to a player, draw a card, put a death touch counter on something when it enters the battlefield. That's cool. It's like the one joins up. I don't know if I've ever seen a successful deck with. Yeah, I knew whatever we played was going to die, so it's just like, which one did we value or not, basically, is what that was going to come down to. But had to take a chance. That's why I almost played Llanowar Elf that turn, just in case, but it's fine. We're okay with how things came down. Alright, let's go attacking. Let's take 2. And I'm going to put this on white, I think. And then that way we can... Oh, actually I still only get to do 1 of these. Alright, well either way. Let's go ahead and web. Bounce this. Since flyers are getting the job done at the moment. As we make our collection of maps. Oh, I got this confused with the one that makes +1/+1 token, or makes 1/1 tokens. That was a little silly. I mean, it still works because we have the flyer, so it's still not bad. But I didn't even... I just got my green, white, and web creatures confused. I feel like when you get paired up, the shuffler gives you the hand you need to win if you can find the right combo it wants you to play. That's not it, definitely. We have had both sides, where we've drawn well and we've had where we struggle. Just part of playing Magic. Alright, opponent's discarding a Wild Ride. Ugh. Okay. Well, that's somewhat good news. Let's play this. And we're just going to start juicing up our flyers, I guess. You know what? Let's just crack some of these. Why not? Sure. They don't have to know that we have another one. And then I'm just going to attack for 3 here. And just be like, hey, we're willing to block if we gotta. Now, again, they don't know that we have double Get Lost. But you can tap that dude to Wild Ride. I mean, if they do, though, then they probably just die, right? Well, no, because you can untap things, too. So there's that. Yeah, it gets untapped. I'll just block with this. Like, doesn't really matter much. And then we just take 5, kill their thing, and... Because they know we have this already. Yeah, sure. We just take it, I guess. I mean, like, I don't know what you're doing with that last card, but sure. Alright, silly pigeon. Alright, let's just get this out of the way. And then we have way more than 11. Way more being 1 more than 11, but 2 more. Alright. Let's get in there. Okay, cool. Good one. You played 10 rounds waiting for a land in real life? Yeah, that happens. That is for real. Like, things definitely happen. Next draw was a play. Dude, that's the worst. When the game's over and you just look at your next card, that's what I always tell people. When you mulligan or when the game's over, just don't even look at your top cards because you can walk away and just keep the what if. Because you're more frustrated if you look and it's the thing you've been waiting on. Brandon says CGB had CGB had a WotC designer on one of his episodes, and he explained why the shuffler feels rigged, but actually isn't. Well, yeah, we all know why, right? Like, it's a numbers thing. The example I use for people is, for those of you that remember, years and years ago, when we were allowed to play poker on any website we wanted to, people would try to play as many tables as they could reasonably play well, right? And the reason was, same thing in poker, kind of like Magic, right? If there's a decision to be made, and there's a, let's say, 30% chance that you make this decision and it goes your direction, or the card you need comes off the deck, then if you get to do that 100 times, you're going to realize that 30%, the proper percentage, right? In theory, right? Just, you see enough combinations, eventually the things you need will happen, percentage-wise. But if you're only doing it in small segments, at a single table, which for Magic the equivalent is playing in paper and just playing a tournament, right? Because when you're playing paper Magic, even in best of 3, you're going to play, I don't know, in an hour, maybe 3 games, right? Whereas in Arena, that same hour, you might play 8 games, 10 games, 11, depending on what type of deck you're playing. Now, if you start expanding that to 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, so you end up exponentially with more games. So you're going to see those negative instances as much as you're going to see the positive ones, but it's going to feel worse because you're seeing those negative ones more than you see them in paper because you just haven't had all the iterations happen. And the time between them when you're playing in paper is also very long, right? Because some of you only get down to play paper at your local store maybe twice a week or something. So it's forever between you get through those instances. And as humans, we're programmed to remember the negative of things. That's how we keep ourselves from getting hurt, right? We see something, we touch the stove one time and we remember that it's hot. So now anything that's red, we're hesitant to touch it because it might be hot and burn us, right? Same thing. The negative things just strike at you harder. Hey, Optimator. Also, it's funny, people say it's not rigged, and then they play 61 cards to make it change it. I'm not making it change it at all. I'm just playing 61 cards because I'm greedy. And then apparently people want to make a thing out of playing 61 cards, so I just play 61 because it's funny now. So I have a lot of lists that are just 61 cards. I literally had a dude the other day, he was like, what do you say? I'm downvoting because you have 61 cards or something like that. Or I'm unsubscribing because you have 61. Like, all right, cool. If that's what makes you unsubscribe, you didn't care about me or my channel to begin with. So don't let the door hit you, I guess. But that's a real thing. So yeah, 61 for me has nothing to do with trying to fix a shuffler. I've played decks that have 60. I play decks that play 61. There is virtually no difference. Which, same thing in paper. When I play 60, 61, like, technically the percentages are slightly worse that I will draw the thing I want to or whatever, and I understand that. And if I was playing, you know, when I've played in Nationals or the Pro Tour or whatever, I played 60 because you're trying to get every little bitty edge you can, obviously. But, yeah, 60, 61, that's not fixing anything, honestly. All right, we can go first. Let's keep it. I don't know why I'm keeping it, but I'm keeping it. There are no 250 card decks. I think every person that plays the 250 card decks are... Oh. Well, okay. I think the people that play the 250 card decks are probably new Magic players. And they just... Or card gamers. I wouldn't even say new Magic players. I feel like if you played Yu-Gi-Oh!, you played Pokemon, whatever, you understand the percentages of playing a tight deck versus a stacked deck or whatever. But I think a lot of them just don't know, that they should be playing a smaller deck. Or they have been burned in some way by, say, a mill deck, and they're trying to avoid the feeling of that happening again. But yeah, you don't play 250 card decks on Arena. It's just a bad idea. Let's keep it. Let's turn this into an island. You also be proud of me. I actually said turn an island and not into a blue this time. This is kind of disappointing. Let's see if we can get away with this. Okay, we can. That kind of surprised me. Alright, let's attack. In the turn. Actually, no, that's bad. I should have just played Paw Patch there. Because then, on this turn, if I played Cosmogrand Zenith, it would at least got a counter, but whatever. We're in it now. Committed to the situation. Committed to the cause. Alright. Would you like to kill my Siren now before it has a chance to get extra counters? Or you can just kill the one Paw Patch right now. That would work too. Nowhere to run. Sure. Guess what's getting counters? Which will probably also die to nowhere to run next turn. But it is what it is. Like, we can't solve all the answers at one time. Oh, are you kidding? Alright, well, go attacking. What is that guy? Whenever an untuned creature controls draw a card. Okay, well, that's a card. That's what I get for attacking, I guess. Let's put that on green. And that can be tapped. I'm assuming they're just playing a bunch of removal spells at this point, but we'll see. Yeah, obviously can't block it. It has menace. This guy is a cool card. This is one I think we're going to see a lot of people play. That feels like it could be genuinely a good Magic card. Just scaling up to let you just have any size and also draining life and gaining life, that's huge. I'm going to put some +1s on things, man. Yeah, there we go. And then we'll attack. All right. What do we got going on? What is this guy? 4/4 lifelink death touch. And when it attacks until end of turn, you can look at the top card of your library anytime, and you may play cards from the top of your library. If you cast a spell this way, oh, you pay life. And okay, that's cool. Cool. We are going to probably only attack with the flyer, which feels really lame, but probably the correct thing to do. Actually, I don't even know if that's true. Are we willing to just come in there with other stuff and just force the issue here? I think we are. F this. Let's just go in web. Pick this up. I'm just going to put counters on everything. Let's just say here. You got it. Replacements for all the things they're going to block with. Yeah, that's great. All right. So you get to block. Go to 17, take 17. All right, yeah, that works. Oh, no, the other one can't attack yet. That's bad. That's real bad. Okay, I mean, I guess we just do this. I mean, what's the worst that happens? We block. We lose one of the Cosmogrands. Oh, they actually would gain 8, though. And then what can you do next turn? You have 5 mana. I guess if you found another one. I mean, but this costs 5. Yeah, they're going to get in there. There's no reason for them to sit back here. I mean, it's a tough spot, too, because if they don't play another one of these, they're going to play the Deep Cavern Bat, and we lose our ability to just play 2 spells next turn, but it may not matter. This deck's kind of for real, y'all. Yeah, you got to block with at least 2 things here. Actually, you got to block with all 3 things, actually. All right, willing to kill a token. That's fair. And you gain life, so there's that. What did you have in hand again? Another one of this guy. Oh, but they're going to get to draw cards when stuff dies. That's a little disappointing. But I think we just let them. We also drain life for whenever they do it. So, sure. I think we could live with this. And then they lose 2. All right, that seems reasonable. Oh, that took all their mana to... Yeah, that's fair. GG's. All right. Sab says, my phone died before I could comment on the Shuffler comment. I do agree with not blaming the Shuffler, but I think it's a tad broken when it comes to land bases. 10 years ago, you only run 20 land in a 60-card deck, but now even with power creep, that's just Magic. And people run, actually, y'all don't even know, old Magic, people would play 20, like there's genuinely Pro Tour decks. Go look, mono blue decks that were trying to play more land. They were playing up to 27 lands at one point. Some were arguing if they should play 29. Like, and that's real. like for real. Like, if you're talking about how Magic decks used to be, yeah, land bases used to be real stupid. Earlier, when I saw some other streamer play against VV, Cauldron, and Jeskai Simulacrum, you would think streamers would prefer making new card content. You know, here's the thing. And I'm going to say something going to sound very disparaging, and I'm going to apologize in advance, but I think it's a fair statement. That I think there is a level of creators that understand the mission, right? We understand the brief. And then there's others that there's a reason they don't get the recognition they should get for the work they put in. And I think a lot of those people are still of the mindset that they have to win all these games, right? Even in the streamer event. There's people like, oh, I got to win. I got to play these cards. I got to do the overtop silly thing. Not realizing that you're not really entertaining anybody in doing so. You're not really showing them the new cards, right? People are going to look at your decks on your videos and be like, okay, you won a bunch, but you also, like, not to be rude, but it's like showing up to the Special Olympics and winning the 100-meter dash with good legs against a bunch of kids who have, like, damaged legs or limbs, right? Like, are we supposed to give you a medal and cheer for you? You know what I mean? Like, there's a time and a place. No, the standard was not 20 lands, yo. I'm telling you. That was not the standard. The only deck that played 20 or less lands was literally mono red Sly style decks. 100% promise you. Go back and look at Pro Tour decks from 20 years ago, from 30 years ago. They were playing more lands. They were not playing 20. I promise you that. I would put any amount of money down on that right now. That we could pick out 100 random decks that appeared on the Pro Tour that were not limited decks, that were actually constructed 60-card decks. They will be playing more than 20 lands. Like, at least 90% of them. Right? Like, that's for real. Let's keep this. Like, it's for real, not even a question. Alright. Let's go ahead and play this. Yeah, 24 plus has been... Actually, I would argue that 25 and 26 was the norm in a lot of decks. 24 is actually even still low for a lot of pro players, truthfully, if you ask them. What are we trying to do here? If we play Paw Patch Recruits... yeah, let's do that. I have a feeling there's just going to be sweepers here anyway. This is one of those decks we've run into a couple of times already. I think it was the same person playing it. Yeah, you should definitely adjust your mana count based on your strategy. I mean, there's a reason control decks will play 26, 27 lands, right? But a lot of the aggro decks are playing 22, 23, 24. And, you know, how many ways do you have to search for cards? And, you know, there's a whole line of thought that you could follow, obviously. Okay. I definitely want to play this so we could call sorcery. I'm just trying to think of what this needs to look like. Put this on green. I want to attack with these. I could pick up recruits. I could replay recruits. Yeah, let's do that. And then we'll play this, and we'll call sorcery. Hey, thanks for subscribing. Let's pick this up. Don't accidentally click the token. That would be bad. Alrighty, what are we doing here? So if you get a white mana, we can't call creature anyway, so that's whatever. Okay, yeah, I guess we just call sorcery at this point, huh? And we'll just lose our creature, but they don't know we have another one, so that's fine. Let's just call this. Also keeps them from playing a cheap sweeper here. And by doing this, we'll get more counters on our things when they play the Bitter Triumph on our Yera and Oski, which would be very good. I just remember to put the counters on the tokens and not on the actual thing, because that's what we're going to bounce. Alright, you get your dude. Yeah, that's fine. We can live with that. That is totally reasonable. What's the play here, though? This guy has vigilance, so that's not cool. Do I want to replay the recruits? I guess not. Not here. All right, let's play this. And play this. And pass the turn. I think that's what we're going to do here. All right. I'm trying to figure out a sequence that we get to punch through with here. And we didn't get our flyers, so that's making this very difficult. So I don't know what this is supposed to look like. Because technically we could kill something, but then they have a chance of just getting it back. Ugh. Alright. Like, I don't even know if I want to just kill this or not. Like, I kind of do. I guess I will. And just, like, not love myself. I mean, we got an awkward slow draw anyway, so we deserve to be punished for everything that's about to go down. And we know they have this. So we're not going to get our cards is the problem. So what if we just get in with everything anyway? Right? And then we just play this and this? All right, well, we're going to attack with something. Oh, the opponent's going to kill the thing before we get into the attack step? Oh, interesting. Okay. I didn't think that's what they were going to do. That actually changes this quite a bit, because I didn't think that was the play they were going to make. So now I'm a little perplexed on which way I want to go. Let's go here, here, and here. Because they still need 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This makes them pay 1 more, so they just need to draw an untapped land, unfortunately. Get the Llanowar Elf in there. Get this in there. And then we could bounce Llanowar Elf. I think this is all we're doing. Oh, and that's what they blocked. Okay. That's not the worst thing for us then. It's just in web. Bounce this. Replay this. In the turn, get a card, I guess. Oh, that's pretty sick right now. That's huge. Oh, Spider Sense might be the reason we win this, y'all. Okay, do I want to... Can I do this in a way... I'll still have a blocker up, so that's fine, right? Because I could tap these two and tap this. All right. Because I don't want to pick anything up. I want every possible attacker next turn. And then just counter it. That's big. Yeah, because now we have exactly 8. If they block 3. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Whoo! Combination of Yera making stuff a little more expensive and bought us a turn to get into that Spider Sense. Or detect intrusion. Wow. Whoo. I, for real, didn't know how we were going to get there. I just knew we had to get the lifelink off the battlefield, and we just figure out the rest later. That's literally what my plan was at that point. Wow, that is crazy. But we will take it. Yeah, that's a win where I felt like, you know how they say you got to use every part of the cow or every part of the buffalo? That's what that felt like. Like, we had to genuinely get in there and grind to get that win. And that's good. I love those, right? We would rather... I genuinely believe this. I would rather win more games a fun back and forth Magic where their deck's doing stuff, my deck's doing stuff. Like we're top decking, we're killing stuff, as opposed to either I kill you on turn 4 or I just draw very little and you just like wipe the board, planeswalker, I'm dead. You know what I mean? That's just way more fun. Way more fun. But yeah, let's talk about this deck real quick. Because this is a fun one, actually. I'm into this. Okay. I don't even know where to start on this deck. We had some crazy games with this that were a lot of fun. And I think this deck might be legit. Now, again, I don't think this is the final form. I think we could max out number of pollinators. I think that's actually very important in here. I might even cut the pigeons altogether and play another spider sense. Maybe even try to get up to 4 of these. It turns out, because really a lot of times we're just worried about like Day of Judgments, you know, things like that. And this would solve that problem. However, though, playing other things that could deal, maybe like a couple, actually, scratch that. Playing a couple copies of Heritage Reclamation is probably also good, right? So you can remove stuff from graveyards, you can destroy enchantment or artifacts if you have to. So I think that's reasonable. I think I would cut all the pigeons, play another pollinator, play 2 Heritage Reclamation, and cut 1 of something. I don't know what the other something would even be. The thing I will say, though, is we didn't have hardly any mana problems, right? Because of the Pollinator, the Llanowar Elf, and our actual in-web things actually only needing 3 mana. We actually did pretty well as far as that's concerned. We didn't, I think, except for maybe one time, had an issue with having something tapped, so that was pretty good. We were able to either attack with Spyglass Sirens, because they're flying, so they went unblocked, or we just tapped for mana multiple times. Also, the last game, the Paw Patch recruit plan worked, y'all. Like, bouncing the recruit and then just making more tokens, so when they finally targeted our stuff, we were able to spread those counters, and we were able to attack for lethal exactly, right? So that actually worked. And I think we only lost 1 game with this. So, yeah, I don't know. I do think this deck is totally reasonable. I'd even say more than reasonable. I think this deck might actually be good, but I think the numbers aren't right. I think there's a lot of cards you're going to want to move around, experiment with some stuff, but it does leave room for metagame considerations, right? Where you could play more Yara and Oski if you're playing against more control stuff or whatever to make all their instants or sorceries cost more, right? We can play Heritage Reclamations if we're worried about more graveyard stuff, or even if you're worried about synthesizer things or whatever, right? That's a plan. We can go wide with Cosmic Grand Zenith if we need, well, really Zenith and Alessos and Pros, right? Or actually, wrong one. The Elena, making the extra tokens. So, yeah, and then what we saw also, as this deck has the ability for huge turn 3s, which I didn't even think about, but we just went off in one of those games, right? That was crazy. So yeah, lots of cool stuff going on here. I think it still needs to be refined, but at least as a premise, yes, web slinging works. I think that's the best thing. Or in webbing works, however you want to talk about it. But yeah, link as always, I'll take you over to Moxfit. Host your stuff there. Remember, save money at Tales of Adventure. Use my code, because saving money is awesome. And then become a member if you want a chance to have your ideas turned into videos. And don't forget to leave a comment on this video so you're parts of the next drawing, which is very cool. So, that's all of you for now. We'll see you next time. What about Warden of the Inner Sky as another in-web? It was in the list. We took that out initially. And the reason was, I just didn't want to tap multiple things that often. Like, there's a lot of times I like the other options we have because it's just tap one thing, right? I can make mana, and then I can pick it up, and I can use the mana to replay the thing, which allows me to do Cosmic Grand Zenith stuff. But with the other guy, I have to often, like, do I want to tap down blockers or not? Because all I have is this guy and some 4/4s, and then I'll play a thing and maybe recast it. So, like, I don't know. In these, I don't mind picking up because I can just recast them with their own mana, right? Or this at least makes a map when I replay it. Or this makes a food when I replay it or pick it up, right? So I'm getting value out of all these things by picking up. Whereas, like, with the other guy, I'm just tapping things down, and I didn't like that as much. Yeah, now, here's the thing I wanted to talk about. Actually, maybe I should include that. Maybe I should just put this in my post-edit stuff. I'll put it back in here somewhere. But one of the things that I was thinking about, if you want another thing to... Oh, gosh. Let me spell it right. The Seriema. This is the other thing I was thinking about if you wanted to play another thing to tap stuff. For two reasons. One, giving your stuff indestructible if you're legendary to tap, great, right? But this also tutors, so depending on the game state, if we need to go get something to slow down our opponent so they can't Day of Judgment the next turn, or Ultima or whatever, right? Or maybe we just need to make more blockers so we can buy a turn or two. Or we're running out of cards, right? We can go with this and go get cards. So I do like this as an option if you want to play an additional thing to get stuff tapped. And if you want to replace any one of these, you know, maybe either of your green-white creatures, so this can still tutor and go get one of them if you need to, I think it's actually a totally reasonable option if you want something else to tap with. But yeah, Seriema is actually really good in here. You have several actual targets. What do we have? 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12 things we can go get with it. That's more than a reasonable number to play 1 or 2 copies of this. So I think that's actually a total viable choice if you want to add that to the list as well. But that was my choice there. I had that in my notes and I almost forgot about it. I'm glad you said something. You agree with the back and forth is a game you want to be challenged, or challenge your game partners is learning and growing? Yeah, I think so for sure. The one white spaceship with the Glorious Anthem, that's probably a reasonable choice. I like being able to tutor for the answer that I want. Rhino's Rampage would fit for artifact removal. What is Rhino's Rampage? This is target creature control gets +1/+0 until end of turn. It fights target creature opponent controls when a creature deals excess damage. Is a maybe. Because again, like that last game, we didn't have any big creatures. You know what I mean? So this wouldn't have been able to kill much if we had the opportunity. So I think it's a reasonable card though, especially for maybe Gruul or something like that. So you want the extra power to do some cool stuff. Like, I could see that being played though. Want to try Spider Manifestation for a Mana Dork. Spider Manifestation. Yeah, this. We played this earlier today. I don't know if I played it in this deck, but we played it in another deck. The, what was it? The Teamer Battlecrier deck. Where you're trying to play big things anyway. And this was awesome in that deck. I don't know if I've seen anything else where I like it. I've only seen one other opponent playing it, and it didn't do as much. But yeah, if you're going big, or you're trying to combo off the big stuff, or, you know, getting mana discounts or whatever, yeah, this card's actually pretty cool. So we definitely played that, for sure. Yeah, we went through a lot of cards today. We're on hour, what? In the middle of hour 7, I think, of streams today. We've been, actually, no, the first stream was long. How long did we stream earlier today? I'm just realized I've been talking to y'all a lot today. What was the first stream? It was, how long was the first one? Does it tell us? I'll have to go back and look at my stats. But it was definitely a long stream earlier. I don't remember how long it was. But I think we went almost 5 hours. Actually, longer than 5 hours. Because I didn't get out till 5 something. Almost 5:20. And we started at 11. So first one had to be over 6 hours. Because we started at 11:15. We went live. So we're on hour 10, actually. Oh boy. Y'all made it not even feel like a long day. I love y'all. So let's talk about some things, since we're at that point in the day. Were there any cards that you didn't see today that you kind of wanted to talk about? Because I think everybody has questions about different cards for different reasons, and maybe we can talk about why maybe some people didn't play them or not, or why some people view them as better or worse, or wherever the situation is. Let me go ahead and mark this as played, the enwebbed pile. So we played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 decks today. I think the only other ones I have don't have a lot of new cards in there, and I might spare my opponents that, because that doesn't seem like fun for them. Because we played against a few things that didn't have a lot of new cards, and that didn't seem like it was fun for y'all to watch either, which isn't cool. Let me check the Discord right quick. Yeah. All right. Turns out, like I thought, Kuro had no idea that the deck was playing the Relic earlier, Relic of Legends, or where he didn't know that wasn't standard legal. He doesn't play a lot of standard though. He's more of a commander player, so I kind of assumed that was the case with that. It's not a huge deal. It's one of those things. I know some people. I'll put a note in the video when I edit, like, "Hey, we know this card wasn't standard legal. I talked to the player about it later. It's not the end of the world." Like, he's a good dude. He's actually stayed with me at one of the Magic Cons. We split rooms a couple times. So, did we play Doc? I did not, but we could bring that up and talk about it as a card. Actually, let me go. I need to go use a token to get back into one of those things, so that way we can see all the cards without them being faded out or whatever. Let's go. Where'd it go? Early access. I must have passed it. Early access best of 3. It's down here. There we go. Let me spin the tokens. We can get there. Okay, now we can look at decks. Oh, can I not? Do I have to? Can I make a deck? Sweet. All right. Doc. Or actually, should I just put Doc? Actually. Oh, is this the Doc? As long as there are 8 or more cards in your graveyard, has base power, toughness 8/8. As long as you control another villain, it has hexproof. This one? I think that's the Doc equivalent. I don't even remember. Let me go look on Scryfall real quick. Make sure I'm even thinking about the right card. Yes, that is the Doc with Sinister Scientist. That is the one. Okay. And then I did see the other Doc, which doesn't appear to be showing here. But the Evil Inventor, which is the 8/8. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target non-creature artifact you control becomes an 8/8 robot villain. I don't even know if that's actually even going to be standard legal. I'm like looking at the card going, I don't even think that's a thing we get to play with. Is the Green Goblin difficult to build around in standard? All right, let's... If this is the Doc you're talking about, no, I did not play with it. And honestly, I'm not even sure what to do with this card. Like, a 5-mana 8/8 is pretty cool, but it's kind of just like some knucklehead. You know what I mean? It doesn't gain flying, it doesn't gain trample, it doesn't gain... It gets hexproof if you have another villain out, but I don't know if that's what you want to be doing. Considering it 5, 6, 7 mana, we're doing really big things right now in Magic. This doesn't really do much. I don't know what the... Like, I guess if I was playing specifically like a Sinister 6 deck, and I just needed another villain and I wanted Doc Ock in there or whatever, like, yeah, maybe, you know, but outside of that, I don't know if I would be playing that. What was the other question? Because I refreshed the chat. It's a blue-black one. Yeah, that one, it's the 8/8 one. Or the 7-cost one. And it's blue and black. I don't know if it's going to be in here or not. I hate deck building. Let's do it this way. Yeah, there we go. This is what I believe it is. Yeah, other villains you control get +2/+2. Your maximum hand size is 8. At the beginning of your end step, if you have fewer than 8 cards, you draw up to 8. The only thing I saw with this was a player who was playing... Oh, what were they playing? Kona. And they just snuck this on the battlefield. And then it kind of didn't do much of anything. It was like, well, okay. And then that was kind of it. It was like, you have a 4/8. I'm just going to attack anyway, bro. And then that was kind of the end of the game. Should work with Warp Dragon. What should work with Warp Dragon? I mean, Warp Dragon's just a fine card. I don't think we have to play lesser cards to justify the dragon. Phyllis said is more commander fluff than standard. I don't know that that's true. Here's the thing we talked about on stream earlier last week. Is and I'm not saying this is particularly you, Joseph, but I do get tired of players jumping from, if I don't know what to do with it in standard and I don't think it's that good in standard, it's obviously a commander card. And a lot of times I've been challenging people and saying, okay, cool. What commander deck wants to do this thing? Right? What commander deck wants to ramp up and do this? Is there one deck maybe that wants it? All right, is it really a commander thing? Like sometimes magic cards are just magic cards. And some of them work better in commander, some work better in constructed, and some work fine in both. Doesn't mean it was just made for one or the other, just sometimes things fall that way. Or a commander comes out later that works with the old card from a set from 2 years ago or whatever. But yeah, I don't think this is particularly a commander card. Like, does it have a better chance of showing up in commander than constructed 60 card stuff? For sure. You know, and because you could build around a villain deck, I think that would be reasonable. And playing this in that deck would be fine. Are there things we could do with it in constructed? Yeah. You know, things going to let you keep reloading your hand. Seems pretty good. But are we going to see a lot of it in either format? Probably not. Let's see. Can Green Goblin be part of a standard deck? Green Goblin. I think these are both Green Goblins. So 5 mana, 3/3, Death Touch. When it attacks, discard a card, then draw a card for each card you've discarded this turn. I didn't see a single person playing Mayhem play this card, so I'm going to say no. Like 5 mana, 3/3 is a lot to ask. And you have to have a deck that's hard discarding and needing to draw more cards and whatever. Like, I just don't think that's a style of deck that the Mayhem decks are playing. This guy, though, which I think is like the ultimate Green Goblin or something, I don't remember. But this is actually just a reasonable Magic card. I mean, this is just 5/4 for 3 mana. Like, if you're playing an aggro deck anyway, and you're playing, I don't know, say even Gruul or just Rakdos aggro, even if you're not doing heavy on the Mayhem, it's still generating treasure every turn. So your top deck, you're going to have mana for it, and there's just a big body. So I could see a world where even in older formats that aren't standard might play this card. Because a lot of those formats don't even want to play creatures that cost more than 3 unless they come with like a huge discount from Delve or something. So just having a 3 mana 5/4 that generates treasure every turn, yeah, why not? This might get played more in older formats than it gets played in standard, which is not that unreal, I don't think. Giant Craft Helm. I feel like this is going to be the one that we aren't a big fan of. Helm. Oh, do I have to put it on artifacts? Okay, there we go. Giant Craft Helm. Whenever a creature you control with mana value 5 or greater enters, you may attach an equipment to it, blah, blah, blah. The weird thing about this is how many things, other than just the Warp Dragon, are we actually going to use this with? That's like my first challenge, right? Are we going to have a card that you're going to play? Because you want to play it before you play your big thing, right? So somewhere on turn 1, 2, or 3, you want to play an equipment that you're probably never going to equip to a thing. Just to once, if you're lucky, maybe twice, put it on a dragon to attack with, right? Because anything else, it's like, okay, I paid my 5 mana, I got my guy. It's still going to die to the same kill spells or whatever. And there's other equipment that some of them can deal damage when they come into play. Some of them gain you life. Some give stuff Death Touch. Some give your stuff Hexproof. Some, like, all these other things. And they're cheap, just the same to cast, 1 or 2 mana. And they have way lower equip costs of 1, 2, or 3. We don't even play a lot of those, right? So it's like, how many of these are we willing to play? I think that's my issue with this. I don't think that the card's terrible, other than, like, the art being weird. But, like, I've genuinely wondered, because a lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to do this thing. And I was like, okay, but turn 1 or 2, we play a Giant Craft Helm. Turn 3, we're hoping your opponent doesn't have a removal spell for the one big significant thing you've played so far. If they do, well, now you just have a Helm sitting on the battlefield doing nothing. And that just feels real bad. You know what I mean? And this is also one of those cards that's tough to get what you want, because it's a sign of shenanigans, right? As soon as you play it, your opponent knows, all right, I have a rough idea of what their game plan is and what's about to happen. So I need to leave one or 2 mana up. You either kill the creature, kill the artifact during your end step, whatever it is, just to make sure I don't get got, right? Because we know that's going to be a thing. So it's like, it's okay. Does it work with Raban? Like, yeah, sure. I mean, but lots of things work with that card. And I think that's the other issue, right? Like, you could do a fun thing. Oh, I guess it's not showing because they don't have red. There we go. With this guy. When it attacks, you attach up to one equipment you control. But, like, we already have other good equipment we can play with this, too, right? We have stuff that can give it Death Touch, Lifelink, Flying, First Strike, stuff to make it unblockable because you can get protection from colors, right? There's all this other stuff. Will it be part of the deck? Like, maybe. Does it make equipment decks significantly better than they are now? Possibly. Like, I for real don't know. I for real 100% don't know. Because again, when you don't have Raban or you don't have your big dragon, like, it's just going to look real bad. And there will be games. You play turn 1 that, turn 2 this guy, then you start attacking. It's going to look great, right? This guy's going to live, you're going to attack for 6, and it's going to feel awesome. The question is just going to be how often does that happen? You know? And I just don't think that's going to be that popular of an issue. Also, by the way, did anybody else feel bad that they gave you an equipment set and then also made Ultima that just destroys artifacts? It's almost like equipment never had a shot. You know what I mean? Don't know why that's the case. But it would have been cool to maybe, I don't know, make Ultima where it destroyed artifacts or it destroyed creatures, but not both. Like, maybe make it modal where you get a choice. I think that would have been kind of cool for 5 mana. But, yeah. Equipment just, your whole board you spent all this time spending extra resources on to build just all goes away. It's tough. Yeah, basically the card says this was made for Hellkite. Yeah, kinda. It is also a bad top deck. Because, again, at least your other equipment, let's say it's a sword, right? That gives you protection from stuff and some other ability. You get to pay 2, play your sword, pay 3, equip it to something, and you can still do something during that top deck turn. Like, the other thing is you have to pay 6, which is already a lot, and you have to hope that you have a thing that actually punches through, because if not, you're just putting 4/4 on a thing to get a whole lot of nothing, really. Yeah, being made modal makes sense with the other modal cards in the set. Yeah, that's true. Though, when I talk to somebody in R&D, I think one of the things they're concerned about is, I don't think it's an issue there with artifacts, but I think just out of habit, whenever you are making a set with a new mechanic or a new thing, sometimes they want more answers or buttons for it because it also protects them. That it's harder to have things get out of hand or be crazy if you have a couple things in the set built to deal with that new mechanic or whatever the thing is. So I also kind of get that from a design perspective. Yeah. Can you talk to that person about reprinting Mirror Retriever? You know, if we ever go back to, I guess what it would have to be, Phyrexia, where those were. If the mirror is still a thing, I don't know, maybe the mirror got all squashed out. We ain't seen mirror in a long time. We've been back to Phyrexia technically twice, right? So maybe the mirror dead. I don't know. Oh, Sibsig Ceremony. Man, you know what? That's another card I was so vindicated on. Because so many people tried to talk to me about, like, nah, you just don't get it. Or, nah, the combos are going to be crazy. This is going to be a problem in Standard. And I'm like, nah, y'all, this ain't it. Like, it's, again, it's a sign of shenanigans, right? Your opponent knows already they got to deal with it. But on top of that, you have to play a bunch of bad cards to justify 4 copies of a decent card. Not even a good card. That already is a sign the deck wasn't going to work. And everybody we saw try it after the first week, nobody even wanted to do it again. Like, I'm telling y'all, anytime, that's a secret, right? When you start deck building and you have to play what are generally bad cards, or at the very least, cards that are lesser than what all the other meta decks are playing, right? When you look at your 2 mana cards and you look at all the top, let's say 10 meta decks, and their 2 drops are all better than yours, and then you look at your 3 drops and they're all better than yours, that's probably going to be a bad deck, right? Because you're just going to be behind it every single drop. And then those cards are only going to do something decent, not even super good, when you get the other key card out. But when you don't have it, they're going to look like trash. That happens every single time. Like, that's your first indicator when you're deck building. if you catch yourself having to justify, like we were talking earlier about the blue ley line, right? We talk about having to justify all these bad cards so we can play the blue ley line, and it's like, yeah, you don't want to be doing that, because every time you don't have the ley line, the rest of the deck's going to look bad. I know, because I've built a lot of those decks and they're all bad. Like, they just don't work, not consistently. Sig works in Historic, but not really in Standard. I've seen it be okay in Historic, but I still wouldn't even say it works necessarily. Like, it can do its thing, don't get me wrong, because you have better options, but I don't even know if I've seen it be super competitive even in Historic. The last mirror was in Brothers War? Oh, that's true. I forgot about that. So I guess they're technically still around. Paladin mirror was an EOE promo, but I think they hinted at mirror comeback. Well, that's cool, if that's a thing. No offense to the artist, but that helm got to be the top 5 ugliest artworks I've seen in Magic. Kind of eerie. You know what? As a horror piece, it do work in the category. Here's the thing, though, about artwork. And we went through this, what was it? 3 summers ago, with the artist who made the alternate version of the discard draw spell, whatever. As I get older, well, I say that. I knew this back when I was still in college, but as I've gotten older, I kind of believe it more and more. Is there a lot of things when it comes to creativity that are subjective, right? Everything from how people dance, to the artwork people make, to the music that's out there. Not everything's going to be for all of us. And I'm totally okay with Magic having, especially on weird sets they've had to do, like Omenpaths or Secret Lair, where you're trying to have guest artists that have completely unique styles, or inserts in special sets or whatever. I'm okay with them trying different things and giving artists different shots, because each of those people they brought in has a following, and some number of their fans want those cards because that's their person's favorite artist and it's on a Magic card, right? And they've never seen that. And those people have a following for a reason. It may not be for me or you, but somebody likes it. You know what I mean? Somebody felt enough that they had enough of following that they liked it, and then somebody at Wizards and the art directors or whoever went, let's put that on a card. So, it's cool. Use it with Junk Diver, which is basically just Mirror Retriever at home. That's fair. Talking about Giant Craft Helm, that's one of the best artworks in the entire set. It looks old school, and that's cool. That's part of the appeal too, though, Crunk. I get that for people, right? It does look like a year 1 or 2 Magic art style piece, right? If that was on a Legends card, we probably wouldn't even look twice at it, right? We just think differently now, because when we see Magic cards, artists are given literal world guides, like complete style guides, to where like the trees look like this here, there's the sun sets and there's 2 suns or moons or whatever, and the elves look like this and the goblins look like this, and all the background has this things because, like, I don't know, they have smoke in the air all the time, so there's a bunch of hazy orange in the air, whatever, right? They all get exactly. So when we see a set, everything looks a certain way. That's not what happened with Omenpaths, right? It's drawing from a bunch of different inspirations and technically all the different worlds or whatever, planes. So we get this weird amalgamation where some stuff looks more modern, some looks older, some has different art styles, some looks kind of edgy, like it could be from Phyrexia or whatever, some looks like it's from Bloomborough, right? We're kind of all over the place. That helm had to go in Dustmourn, but I agree with both. They do look old school, and the art is a thing of taste. Oh, for sure. It's not necessarily my thing, but it's somebody's thing. Are there any good ETBs in this new set in Dimir colors? Dimir colors ETBs. Let's first off just put inners, because that's the easy way to deal with this. And then we'll just trim it down to those. I can't. Oh, I know what I got to do. Hold on. I got to also put in set OM1. All right. So this works. Now I can look up everything. Enters abilities. I mean, I don't know. Here's the thing, though. It depends on what you're trying to do with Dimir. If you're talking about, well, I don't know. I guess it depends. What are we trying to do as far as what matters? Because there's multiple things that care about entering, but I don't know if they help a certain style deck or not. Artist Secret Lair, your favorites? I could see that. right? I've been introduced to artists and art styles that I didn't even know exist. I wasn't a fan of some of them, but I thought it was cool that I'm like, oh, this is a whole crazy art style I've never seen before. So that's also kind of neat. I mean, because there's this, let you return a villain card from your graveyard to your hand. That's a thing. When this enters, you get to self-mill 2 cards. I mean, there's a lot. It just kind of depends on what you're trying to do. Return a card, mana value 1 or less. Creature, mana value 1 or less from the graveyard to the battlefield. So, like, this guy is pretty sweet. Enters the battlefield, you deal X damage. So this can be reused, get lifelink. So there's stuff. You know, just kind of depends on what you're trying to do. So there's options out there. You have a standard ETB deck with Vocalist just looking for new cards that might fit into it. Yeah, there's options. I don't know if you need a lot, though. I mean, once your deck's refined and a new set comes out, at most, you're really going to be swapping, like, you know, cutting 4s to 3s and whatever so you can squeeze in, like, 3 copies of something or whatever. But you don't expect to see wholesale changes a lot of the times. Unless you're building around one of the new mechanics or something better comes out to just shove your deck in a new direction. Like, if you played Azorius Control and then, in, I guess, close to back-to-back sets, you get, like, Consult the Star Charts and whatever, the 3-mana one, right? Where you look at the top 5 cards and take 2 of them. Like, well, then, yeah, your deck's definitely going to change because those are absolute nuts search cards, and you're going to have to play those. So it's not a very common thing to have to swap a lot, but it's definitely a thing that happens. Mob Lookout is probably the best Dimir 2-drop in the set. Mob Lookout. That is a strong hitter. When this creature enters, target creature you control connives. You're saying this is the best Dimir 2-drop in the set? I mean, we might be light for options. Let's see what else we got. Oh, no, that can't be true, because this is better. This is the Norman Osborn. Like, this is definitely better than that card. Like, it can't be blocked, and then you just get to connive every turn, and then eventually you could turn it into another thing. Like, this is by far better. I don't even have to go any further than that. This card is definitely better than that one. Now, admittedly, you don't have a lot of choices, so it might be the second best. This is a wild one, though. Flying Vigilant whenever it attacks, mill a card. That's interesting if you're trying to self-mill, I guess. This guy, this is, what is it? The Water God, Hydro Man or something or whatever. Like, this turned out to be decent. We had a couple of opponents play this, and I think if people figure out what to do with this card, this thing has real potential. It's quirky and it's weird, but I feel like if you can figure it out, there's some real stuff you can do with this. Your death based on making the opponent discard while I draw extra cards and make an opponent sack all their creatures. Nothing wrong with that. Hey, if it works, it works. I ain't gonna judge nobody. You can play Magic a lot of ways. There's a lot of unknown stuff out there. Okay, and then we look at other 2-drops over here. What is this? 2/1 lifelink. This creature deals damage. Actually, I feel like we've had some version of this before. It's not terrible, though. When this creature dies, create a treasure token. That's not that exciting, but I could see some decks where you want that. Also weird that the things that depict outlaws are just like villains in this set. So they actually still die to shoot the sheriff because villains, I guess, don't count as outlaws, which is funny. Yeah, okay. So you don't have a lot of 2-mana thing. Actually, this is also a really good 2-mana thing. It's not a creature, but it's a pretty good 2-mana card in the set. And I don't think there's any other multicolor ones. So yeah, it's at least the second, probably the third best 2-mana thing for Dimir in the set. But don't be wrong, it is an 0/3. That's not nothing, right? And getting a connive, you could put a +1/+1 on something else. Could still be worthwhile. So, I mean, if this card were to start finding play, I wouldn't be completely shocked. It's reasonable. But I think on that note, y'all, I'm going to call it. We have done almost 10 hours of streaming today, which is wild. But normal but Norman doesn't ETB. Was thinking about ETBs, but yeah, Norman is generally yeah, Norman's just better. Like even if I wanted ETBs, I would probably still play Norman Osborn over the ETB option. Just because getting damage in, just getting to see more cards is probably better. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap things up so I can get to editing on some videos, setting some stuff up, so I can take advantage of the time we still have in the client. But I do want to say, if y'all are gonna be in Atlanta, MagicCon Atlanta, I'm gonna be down there next weekend. So come see me. I have some giveaways and stuff if you find me on the show floor. There's also a fun thing I'm going to get to announce soon that I will tell you has to do with Moxfield, and that's about all I can tell you right now. So that's cool. I will be in Vegas at the end of October, the 23rd, I believe, that weekend, for the Command Fest down there, run by Card Shop Live. First time they've run one, I think, so that'll be fun. And then the following weekend, on Halloween weekend, I will be in Tacoma, Washington at that Command Fest as well. So I'm doing back-to-back events for that. So if you want to come out, say hello, that would be cool. Maybe we can grab a bite, grab a drink, I don't know. Or just play some Commander. That would be totally fun too. I would love to do that. And I think anything else I'm doing, just like local stuff between now and then. So I have a long flight to Atlanta next week. So I'm hoping to get a bunch of work done and then get it onto my laptop so I can at least work on it on like the 5.5 hour flight or it is I'm going to have between here and there. Late night editing, thanks for the stream, safe travels. Yeah, I edit a lot at night. It's when I get caught up on my YouTube videos and stuff, so it's kind of normal for me. But yeah, thanks everybody for hanging out. I really appreciate it. Let me see if I could find a raid to send to somebody. Who else is still live? Is there anybody I know that's live right now? Let's send some people over. Oh, a Philly's still playing Magic. Yeah, let's do that. Let's send a raid to ePhilly. Hadn't sent a raid in a minute, and we got a good crowd. Y'all be nice to them. They're super nice. I've met them at an event before. Super friendly. Y'all know, but our people are good people. I don't have to tell y'all that. Y'all know. But yeah, I will catch up with y'all. We're probably going to stream at least 1 or 2 more times between now and then, the set going live, because we also have stuff on the wheel we want to get to. But y'all go ahead, have fun with the Philly. I want to say, for real, as always, wherever you're watching or listening, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Please take care of yourself and your family, because the world's crazy right now. Remember to be awesome. And most importantly, because people really need it right now, be awesome to each other. I'll catch y'all in the next one. If you're on Twitch, enjoy the raid. For those of you that aren't on Twitch, I will see y'all in the next video.